The following is an Ellwood City Sports production.
Two to the right. Quick pass out there to Dom Ho. He gets up to the 50-yard line. He's got blockers down. He goes, makes a man miss. He's got the first down. Does a little wiggle all the way. He's still on his feet. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Hand off to Partridge. Tucks it in the left hand. He's up the left side, and he's going to go all the way. At the 10, the 5, touchdown! 4th and 15. It's all down to this. Back to pass. Give and chase. Throws it out there, and he's hit. He's short of the line again. He's short of the line again.
Free kick. Nice header by Keystone Oaks. But taken there by Huth.
Shot on net.
And it's a goal!
Puts it up, and down it goes. That's the game! Playoff win for the Wolverines. Inbound to Caleb Serving. Yes! It's gone! Shoots it! It's over! The ball is over! The Wolverines win!
Left side field, chasing his left fielder. It's going to go all the way out of the ballpark. A home run. Contact there, deep, sending back the center fielder up to the fence line. A base hit there for Luke Raleigh. She will turn and go to third on the triple. Hi there, Ellwood City sports fans, alongside Neshannock Lancer fans. Welcome into the Lincoln High School Big Gym here in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania, as we bring you live coverage of WPIL girls volleyball, varsity and JV matchup. Your Ellwood City Wolverines taking on the Neshannock Lancers here on Ellwood City Sports. It is Tuesday, the last day of September. Do you remember the 21st night of September? And then also
that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. And then I'm going to go even farther and say, wake me up when September ends. So, folks, this is the last day of September. Brad Windhorst alongside Dakota Marshall. Thad Sturgeon will join us for the varsity matchup. That is slated for 7:30 tonight, pending on when the JV matchup finishes. 9 times out of 10, I would assume it's going to be right around 7:05 to 7:10 range going forward. So, once again, folks, JV matchup here is set for 6 o'clock, and then varsity at 7:30. On your screen is the standings. So far at the varsity level. Kind of do a little bit of a preview here. Neshannock Lancers has a nice week here. They could possibly double up Tuesday and Thursday. If they would win Tuesday and Thursday, they could potentially clinch playoffs already with about halfway through the section standings-wise and the season. Riverside Panthers, some big victories, and a victory over Ellwood last week. Well, they did win last year too, I guess. They improved to 4-1, which means that puts Riverside now in the driver's seat as the second-place team. Mohawk, unfortunately, lost a matchup there and split with Neshannock. They're 4-2, 8-3. Those top three teams there, you can kind of put them in a bag or a hat, and you can kind of pull out a team and say that could be the team that wins the section. Shenango is sitting in the driver's seat as the 4th-spot team, 3-1, 2-1. They've got a lot of games they got to make up, and I have a feeling that 2-1 record probably is not 100% reported properly, but we go with what we get. Laurel Spartans, Ellwood City, and Beaver Falls sitting there all at the bottom of the brackets. Ellwood with a 1-6 section record with their one victory over the Beaver Falls Tigers. A busy week here for Ellwood City Sports. We got tonight volleyball, Wednesday at middle school football at Riverside. Thursday, we're back on the air back here, and then Friday, a big one, folks. We're going to be on the air early, basically a 6:30 start time there on Friday, as it's homecoming blackout night for Ellwood against Western Beaver Golden Beavers. So the JV teams line up here. We'll go across the board here. We're looking at number 21, Gianna Genevieve for Ellwood City. Number 25, Riley right now.
This is just greeting each other.
Yeah.
This isn't starters.
Number 28, Brooklyn Meyer. Number 8, that's Sophia Wise. Number 7, Taylin Crum. As we continue to go through the list here, we have number 5, Maria Riccio, that you may see. You may see number 6, Kira Condell at some point, hopefully before the end of the season. Injuries, unfortunately, has kind of bugged the lineup here for Ellwood City, so we'll see if we get to see here before the end of the season. You may see number 12, Gracie Krug. Number 13, Eliza Convery. Number 14, Jilly Murray. Number 17, Corinne Franis, as well as number 23, Peyton Hamilton. And number 30, you may see Eden Bunger probably at the varsity level. Sometimes we'll get a couple subs here and there throughout the JV game.
For the Neshannock Lancers, you have number 14.
That being, let's see here, Maria Falkus.
24.
Number 24, Quinn Tatterson.
16.
Number 16, that's Maisie Kolbacki.
7.
Number 7, that's Kendall Farrell.
22.
Number 22, that's Ava Skodak.
And 9.
And number 9, that being Alexis Oshbacher. So we do see Bunger as well as Genevieve. Let's see, Franis is out there. Number 25, 28, Meyer. Number 14, that's Jilly Murray. And then serving now is Reitnauer as we are underway here in the JV matchup between Ellwood and Neshannock. First hit there by Neshannock comes back over to the Ellwood City side. Swing and a miss there, unfortunately, on that front row there for the Wolverines. Kind of a tough play there. First point of this match at the JV level goes to Neshannock. Again, folks, the best of 3 sets. Got to go up to 25 points, win by 2.
Now serving number 14 for the Lancers.
That's Maria Falkus. Good deep serve there. Set for the back row for Ellwood. It's going to go out of bounds so quickly. Neshannock up 2-0 in the early going. Again, folks, Varsity is at 7:30 for coming to the parking lot. Make sure you come early. We got security check-ins that you got to go through. More importantly, it is a busy night here at the school. The parking lot is pretty well filled, so you may want to make your way down here sooner than later. Good serve there once again by number 14, Falkus. It falls. That makes the score now quickly 3-0 in favor of the Lancers. Dakota, one of the things that we talked about for this Ellwood team during warm-ups is communication. Something that a youth team, a very inexperienced team, has to go through is the growing pains of communication. And unfortunately, there's another point for Neshannock 4-0. And just like that,
be a timeout, Ellwood City.
Yeah, we'll stay here, folks. Once again, you can check out all the action on our website, www.ecwolverines.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole works. And, of course, as always, on YouTube. We got a couple streams this week. Go and YouTube, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Every time we go live, you will be notified. www.ecwolverines.com. So, again, folks, some big things on the docket, including these standings. Neshannock, Riverside, and Mohawk kind of in front and kind of control their own destiny. When you win the first game of a lot of these matchups, you get the heads up on everybody else, and more importantly, you can kind of cruise into the last week of section knowing that you may be clinched. It's the top 4 teams, so Laurel, Ellwood, and Beaver Falls are going to have to be fighting here and trying to pull upsets from here on out. And obviously for Ellwood, it starts tonight. A big upset here against Neshannock, that would be very huge. One of the bigger upsets if that would possibly happen. So back out of the timeout, the JV here, 4-0 Neshannock. There's a good serve on that far side. It does clear. Unfortunately, spiked there by number 16, Maisie Kolbach. It goes into the netting. So that will earn the first point of the match for Ellwood. It stops a string of 4 straight points by the Lancers.
Substitution here as number 23 checks in for Ellwood.
That's Peyton Hamilton,
and
one of the
21,
seniors.
Genevieve will be serving.
Genevieve, one of the featured girls last week. She had a really good front row option there for the Wolverines. Unfortunately, that one falls on Ellwood's side, now 5-1.
Now serving will be number 24 for the Lancers.
24 being Quinn Tatterson. Very unique serving here, coming to the far or the close side, and serving out of that corner. Set up here by Reitnauer, back to Genevieve. Contact there in the back row as it comes around. Set up there by number 14, Falkus. Fortunately, does not get over, and that was, I believe, number 7, Kendall Farrell. So that's another point for Ellwood. So quickly, back-to-back points, 5-2.
Eden Bungar with the serve. It goes into the net. Point Neshannock, as they are now up 6-2.
So we'll see when Genevieve gets warmed up there. Just a freshman for Ellwood. She had some really good success even at the varsity level. We got to see her a couple times.
Now serving for Neshannock will be number 19.
Yep, that's Azalyn McCown. Should be serving on that back row. See, doesn't look like any run up, just a little hit up and over, and it almost falls on the Ellwood side. In fact, it's going to go out of bounds off of number 5, Riccio, the libero, so that's another point for Neshannock. It's a good location here so far by the serving of the Lancers. I would also say, Dakota, that's also a fault of the defense for Ellwood. Got to get it up and over right now. She does. Middle row here for Neshannock. It's going to be close and tight against the fence line or the netting. And we're going to get a
violation.
Yep. Against Neshannock.
Against Neshannock.
Yeah, so that's going to be a point for Ellwood City.
That was on number 7 for Neshannock.
Yeah, Farrell went up there to try and hit it. Unfortunately, kind of ran into the netting at the same time. Sub here for Ellwood. Checking out will be number 17, Frannis, and coming in will be number 8, Sophia Wise, the freshman. She's a server specialist.
As well as number 7, Crum.
Yep.
Checking in.
Crum, a sophomore, middle blocker here for Ellwood City. So just a little clarification on substitutions here for Ellwood. Making sure everything is good to go. And we're on the way. Wise with the serve. Good serve. Line drive, front netting here. We're going to get a net violation. Nope. Still play on. Wise sits up in the front row there. Number 13, that's Convery. And I think we're going to have a double hit.
A double hit on Ellwood, so that's going to be another point for the Lancers as they are now 8, serving 3.
Yeah, good start here from Neshannock, defensively as well as serving. Serving will be Kendall Farrell, number 7. Back row serve there. Good serve with a little bit of heat behind it. Fortunately, scramble from Ellwood. It falls on their side, and Neshannock quickly goes up by 6. Neshannock wearing the road jerseys here, the white and the red pinstripe. It's kind of neat. Comes to one side of the shoulder. Good serve there once again. Through the rafters. Far side, Crum gets it up and over. Back row for the Lancers. Now set up there across court there by number 9. That was Oshbacher. Crum gets it, hits it in the corner off of Oshbacher out of bounds. So that'll be a point for Ellwood on the tip. Makes it 9-4.
Substitution here as number 28 comes in for Ellwood.
The freshman defensive specialist, Brooklyn Meyer. She will be serving. Again, folks, grocery. The concession stand is open, so when you guys
trying
stop
to
in.
say something, Brad?
Apparently, well, you know what's going through my mind is that one's tipped out of bounds off the serve, so an ace there by Brooklyn Meyer. I was thinking of September or October 19th and the grocery stores being blacked out. That's just long story. We'll leave that one alone. That's for another week. Oh, man. 9-5. In favor of Neshannock.
Another serving ace for Meyer.
Double up the aces here for Ellwood as they start to crawl back. This lead is now cut down to 3. So quickly, a 6-point lead cut in half. Back row now to the front netting area. This is going to be a tough play. It's going to hit the shoulder of the official. And that's another point for Ellwood, just like that, 9-7. So give credit. The serving by Brooklyn Meyer causing some havoc here. Good strike there, back row. It's going to go out of bounds. Another ace for the Wolverines, and just like that, it's 9-8. Product of the serve so far, both teams. That's where most of the points have been. Meyer once again, deep serve, back corner here. It's going to be a little bit of a scramble. Neshannock does get it open. That was number 8, Olivia Hoover. Front row, tapped around. Genevieve gets it over. And another scramble. It's going to go out of bounds. And just like that, folks, 6 straight points from the Wolverines. We got a tie ball game, 9-9. crazy how this action always occurs for volleyball. Now at the JV level, it's all about the runs. 6 points by 6 points, both teams. Good scramble here. They do get it up and over, but
out of bounds.
Yeah.
Point Ellwood, as they
Unfortunately-
take their first lead of this JV matchup.
yeah, unfortunately that strike there by Tatterson out of bounds. And like you said, Dakota, Ellwood up 10-9. Another good serve. Comes to the netting, going to be tapped down. Scramble here, back to the Ellwood side, but out of bounds again. Wow, what a run here, folks. That's 8 straight points for the Wolverines. And it makes you just wonder when this first timeout from Neshannock may happen. Meyer.
Served by Meyer.
Good serve again. Middle of the row here. Hit there. Good contact there by Hoover. A little bit of a scramble here. Genevieve does get it over. Hoover sets it up. Back over to the Wolverine side. Riccio all over to Crum. Back to Riccio. Back up there by Hoover. Back row. One of the best and longest rallies here by both teams. Back to Neshannock side. Tapped up and over by Hoover. Riccio gets it up. Wise over to Genevieve. Up and over. We play on, folks. This ball has been hit at least 20-some times. Tatterson. Ooh.
That one goes out of bounds.
Yep. Outside of the pegs. So there you go, folks. So it's now officially 12-9.
Served by Meyer.
Good serve yet again up through the rafter area, up and over. Now Wise. Back there to Crum. Crum, side shot there. Goes, unfortunately, short changes the netting, so that will be a point for Neshannock. They stopped the run, but not before a little bit of bleeding there. Again, 9-3, now 12-10 in favor of Ellwood.
And a serving ace for number 9 for the Lancers.
Yeah, and that's how you kind of answer that. What was that? 9-point run there by the Wolverines. You come back and you get 2 points via the ace serve. Good serve once again. That is Oshbacher. Down it goes there for Hoover. And just like that, Neshannock ties it right back up. So 12 apiece now. Serving again is Oshbacher. Good serve there. Riccio out of bounds. So that's going to be a point to Neshannock. They take the lead back here in this first set, 13-12. There's a serve. Line
Into
drive
the
into the
net.
net. Yep. So
Point
that'll.
Ellwood, we're tied again. 13-all.
Yep. So subs across the board here. Coming in will be number 14, Jilly Murray. For Ellwood City's number 13, Eliza Convery, and she will be serving. A little bit of offense for defense here. Jump serve, high arcing serve down that line. Set up here to the front row. It's going to be a tough play. It falls on Neshannock's side, so Ellwood pulls back ahead now 14-13. Jump serve again, deep row. Tough play here. Lancers set it up into the netting. Unfortunately, it falls. That's another point for Ellwood. Good try by Quinn Tatterson, but unfortunately not enough oomph behind it. It's now 15-13, Ellwood City. Here's the serve once again from Murray. That
And
one
there's
falls.
an ace.
Yeah, that one died. It had that forward spin almost, and it just fell into the pocket hole. And that one was not only an ace, that's a clean ace there by Murray. This one high arcing serve now. Going to come back over to Ellwood. They have a chance to get on the offense here. Up there. Bunger taps it, but unfortunately short changes it, and that'll be a point for Neshannock.
Checking in will be number 16 for Neshannock.
That being Maisie Kolbacki.
And the libero, number 22, will be serving.
Yep, and that is Ava Skodak. Sophomore player here for the Lancers. Good strike there. Forward spin. I tell you what, that was the best serve that you can see, folks, with that rotation. That was a forward serve. It dies and it drops real fast, and that's why it goes out of bounds off of Ellwood City. So now down by one, Skodak serving. Forward spin again a little bit. Up through the rafters. Wise sets it up here. Bunger, deep shot here. Back row, Skodak. Set up there. Once again by Farrell. Up and over by the Lancers. Wolverines turn. Wise. Front row. Genevieve up and over. Now the team in red here. Jump off the front row of Bunger. That was a good shot there by number 16, Maisie Colback. It falls. Tipped out of bounds. That'll even us back up here, 16 apiece. This Neshannock team, I would say a smaller bench than usual. Somewhere in the range of about 16 players. Back row here for Ellwood. It's going to be a tough play on the netting. It's going to fall. Neshannock goes back in front now, 17-16. So now Skodak serving here. There's a jump serve. That one unfortunately goes in the net. So once again,
17 all.
I think this is about the 5th time since we started 0 apiece. This game has been tied up.
Checking in is number 25 for Ellwood.
That's Reitnauer.
As well as number 17.
That's Corinne Franis.
And Reitnauer will be serving.
Yeah. Good line drive by Reitnauer. Just gets it up
Hits
and over.
the rafters, but
Still
they play on.
Oh, it's going to be in the outside of the post. Yep. It did make its way over, but unfortunately it's on the outside of the pegs.
It was in between the official and the peg.
Kind of hard to see on your screen, but you got the red pegs there. That is out of bounds on the netting. Good scramble and recovery by the Lancers. Set up far side. Genevieve just got punched over, and it falls off that front row. That's a point for Ellwood. And just like that, the second time in this match, Ellwood up by 2. And now it's crunch time, folks. We're right around that 20-point mark. 19 serving 17. Right now, our line drive, good.
18 serving 17.
It should be 19, I thought. I could be wrong. We'll hold that thought. There's a strike in the netting. It falls. So it's 18 apiece. I thought it was 19-18 because it was 18 serving 17, but I could be wrong. I may have hit a button twice. It's possible.
You probably just looked after Gary changed it.
Yeah. Gotta say, I like pushing the buttons on the screen.
Hits the rafters and falls back on Ellwood's side. Point Neshannock as they take the lead now, 19-18.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably the first time that we actually seen the rafter come into play harsh like that. We've seen it hit the rafters, but still able to be played. That one was a little bit tough. Speaking of the rafters, yep. Back over to Lancer's side. Front row. Save there and dug out.
Hit the rafters.
Yep. Up and over. It's going to be close here. It does get up and over. Bunger taps it over. Back to Skodak. Front row. Set up here. Strike across. There. It falls by number 7, Kendall Farrell. As now Neshannock does take that 2-point lead, 20-18. Now serving for the Lancers will be number 14. That is Maria Falkus. Good serve, line drive. Up there, comes back right to Falkus. Set up front row, up and over. Reset here by Reitnauer and company. Hit there, but unfortunately too deep there by Myers. She looks over the bench like, oh my goodness, what did I do? Just a little too hard.
And Ellwood will take their second timeout of this set.
Okay, so there you go, folks. It's a 3-point lead here. Again, you go to 25, got to win by 2. All right, folks, welcome back to the EC Big Gym here, Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. First set for JV volleyball, 21-18. Lancers ahead by 3. Here's the serve once again. Good serve by Falkus. Front row. Elwood does get it over. Now Lancer's turn. Front row off to Meyer. Right now, are set up there for the up and over. Unfortunately, into the net. And kind of right now, unfortunately knows that that's a play she's got to make there, and that's a point for Neshannock, now up by 4. Maria Falcus, a sophomore here, 5'1", serving specialist for the Lancers. Good serve, back row. It's going to be a tough play here. Scramble.
And they do not
no,
get
they
it
do not.
as it falls on Ellwood's side. So 23 serving 18, 1 away from set point.
Yeah, you got to feel bad there for Jilly Murray. She kind of got caught in no man's land. Do I go up or do I go under? And fortunately, did not work out.
And that one will go into the net, give Ellwood a point. 19 serving 23.
Sub back once again is number 23, Peyton Hamilton. She'll come in for Meyer. Meyer will get a little break here.
Genevieve will be serving, number 21.
Yep. Line drive served by Genevieve. Back row. Oh, my goodness. That one just misses.
Just a little too far.
Yep.
So we are at set point number 1 for the Neshannock Lancers as they are up 24-19.
Here's the serve by Tatterson. Bending. It falls. I got in. I think the line judge says in. Yes, it is. So
close judge said in, far judge said out.
So the first set will go to the Lancers, 25-19. They'll take the first early lead here. We'll come back and we'll have second set action in the JV matchup. Stay with us here, folks, on Ellwood City Sports. right, folks, welcome back here to Ellwood City Big Gym here. We got the wide view here for a little bit as we do have a fundraiser that's going on today for soccer. Today is the pickup day for Chick-fil-A chicken and whatnot. And here at Ellwood City Sports, we always like to dabble into the fundraisers. And sure enough, Dakota and I, we both bought a chicken platter. So we're just transferring a couple things. You're going to actually see Dakota come on the screen here in a second. As we set up here for the second set action, serving right off the bat is Neshannock, as that one goes out of bounds. So indirectly, a nice serve there by number 14, Falcus, as Neshannock gets ahead in the early going. Second set, 1-0. There we go. It's once again, that's a great fundraiser. We do appreciate soccer having an awesome fundraiser, and that's just up our alley, Dakota. You gotta love Chick-fil-A chicken, absolutely.
Not soccer, band.
Sorry, the band. What did I say?
I was
it's
like,
at the soccer match, but
what fundraiser is soccer having?
it's at the soccer match, but it's for band. Yes, you are correct. It's our Lincoln High School Marching Blue Band. It was going to be a segue, too, because Wednesday is the Lawrence County Marching Band Festival, so we'll talk more about that during the varsity matchup, but that was going to be a segue. Unfortunately, I failed at it badly. So back to action here already quickly. 3 points by Neshannock, a 3-0 lead, second set. That first set was 25-19, a good battle for Ellwood, but unfortunately in the late going, Neshannock rambles off about 6 points to win the set. Another ace here.
And starting kind of the same way we did with the first
yes,
set.
You are right,
Neshannock
Dakota. Yep.
Semi-dominating, as Ellwood will take their first time out of this set.
All right, folks, we'll take a timeout with them. It's 4-0 second set here, early JV matchup. All right, folks, welcome back here out of the timeout. 4-0 lead here in favor of the Lancers. As Dakota said, this is kind of playing like the first set all over again. Neshannock in the early going.
Ooh, great dig there by...
I believe that's Murray. Yep, that was number 14, Murray. She'll come right back to her for Ellwood.
I was waiting to catch the rest of the number because I couldn't see it with her hair.
Good strike by Genevieva. Back row for Neshannock scrambles. It's no good.
Ellwood will get their first point of this second set, assisted with that great dig by Murray.
Yeah, what a great play by number 14, the freshman defense specialist, Jilly Murray.
Now serving number 25 for the Wolverines.
That's right, Nauer. Good serve there. Back row, a little bit of a miss hit there, but Neshannock gets away. They're going to count that, yep, because that is technically a fourth hit.
It inadvertently hit both girls?
Yeah, it's like a 3 with an asterisk, because technically you don't have to hit it with your hand, but it does count as a hit if it goes off your body.
So here's the serve.
Good serve by Reitnauer.
And an ace.
Yeah, good try
Reitnauer
by Falcus. She did slide on the court there, but unfortunately didn't get enough of it to stay up. Good
so
timeout.
3-4.
Yeah, what a good timeout from Ellwood. Just like that, we've got a tie ball game, folks. And as that one falls short, it's now a 4-piece.
I thought you were going to jinx it with that one.
I was so afraid.
That one was just over the net.
It was just over the net. Just
Here's
perfect.
the serve, and that one will go into the net.
A little bit, I guess, a set or a
dual
serve
jinx with both of us.
Yeah, a serve a little bit late. So 5-4 now for Neshannock.
Now serving for the Lancers, number 24,
Quinn Tatterson. Good serve there, but
and
unfortunately
that one will
just
go
short.
into the net.
Yeah.
Point Ellwood, as we are tied 5-all. Substitution here as Hamilton comes in for the Wolverines, and Genevieva will serve.
Hamilton joins Bunger as well as Franis on that front row. Good serve there by Genevieva. Good scramble here, set up. Unfortunately, just a miss hit there by number 9.
Time jump, maybe?
Yeah, kind of leaning backwards with Oshbacher, but good try by Alexis.
So Wolverines take their first lead of the second set, 6-5.
Good line drive serve by Genevieva. Back over to the Ellwood side. Maybe a second time. Nope, it falls. That's a point for Ellwood. as they jump early here now, 7-5. Nearly going. Again, second set here. It's a best of 3. Neshannock leads 1-0.
Line drive serve.
Yep. Cross hit there. Good setup here by Reitnauer and company. Bunger up and over. Sometimes you just got to live to fight another day. Here's the line drive spike by Lancers into the front row. Scramble by both teams. This time off of Reitnauer. It falls out of bounds, but it's off of Ellwood City, so that's a point. Neshannock 7-6 now.
So now serving will be number 2.
That's Ava Wilson, a freshman here for the Lancers, 5'8", defensive specialist. We start going through the rotation of the bench. Unfortunately, that one goes out of bounds. So quickly, Ellwood will get the ball back here, 8-6. So 8 serving 6. And that will be number 30, Eden Bunker. Subbed out was Murray. Here's a serve by Bunker. High arcing serve. Back row. Up and over there by Falcus. Scramble here. Unfortunately, a little miscommunication. We've seen that happen a couple times tonight, and unfortunately, it's been on the Ellwood side mostly.
We said it in pregame, Brad.
Communication's key.
Need to be vocal.
Yes, you got to call it.
Call your shots.
even if it's not the right call, just call it, and that way somebody knows. Good serve here. It falls for an ace once again by number 7, Kendall Farrell, and Neshannock ties it back up, 8-8. Again, folks, looking for the varsity matchup, and that is slated for 7:30, an hour from now. We're going to assume it's probably going to be about 7:15 start time. Right now, our far side, Hamilton up and over, cross court. Nice play by number 24, Quinn Tatterson, to leave it go out of bounds. Point for Neshannock.
Smartly pulled back from touching it, so
yeah,
that way Neshannock got the point.
I got to get the dimensions of the volleyball court and see how big the actual dimensions are. Here's the setup here, front row, up and over there by Hamilton. That one just missing by a foot. Back-to-back cross-court shots by Ellwood go out of bounds. It's now 10-8 Neshannock. So set up once again is Farrell. And unfortunately,
into the net.
Yep.
Point Ellwood now 9, serving 10.
And unfortunately for both teams, the serving has not been the best.
Crum checks in, as well as Sophia Wise, number 8.
So Wise, a freshman here for Ellwood City, looking to get something going in the right direction. Down 1. Off the net, still in the field of play by Farrell. Back over to Farrell, up and over, now Wise. Set up there, front row, up and over by Convery. Back row for the Lancers, up and over by Tatterson. Good scramble here, it gets over, back down. Wise gets it back over. Nice volley here for Ellwood. That one's a line drive. It falls. Fortunately, did not catch the number on that one. Either way, that front row for the Lancers got a good strike in. It's now 11-9. So now serving for Lancers will be number 9. That's Alexis Oshbacher, junior for Neshannock. And that's an ace there for the Lancers.
They
look
called
to
ball, but no one actually
yeah.
went for the ball.
Well, unfortunately,
you can't be caught looking.
You can kind of point at the location, but if nobody's there, nothing happens. Serving again is Oshbacher. Riccio gets it up here for Ellwood. Wise, front row, Convery. Back up there, line drive, good strike by number 8, Olivia Hoover. Olivia Hoover, one of the tallest individuals on both sides of the net. They have her listed officially 5'10", and she definitely plays that entire frame of 5'10", that's for sure. Now serving, that will be once again number 9, Oshbacher.
Genevieve.
Good scramble here, up and over by Convery. Back row, set up once again, down it goes. It comes back to the Neshannock side. Yeah, good pick here by Riccio and the libero. Crum down that baseline, back over to Ellwood, back and forth, still in the play. It falls on Ellwood's side. That's a point, Neshannock.
Neshannock now up 14, serving 9.
They officially called a carry on that last hit, so either way, it was going to be a point for Neshannock.
And that one goes out of bounds right in front of the official.
I'd be so afraid to lean back on the ladder. I'd lean back and then fall off.
Now checking in for Ellwood is number 28.
That being, once again, Brooklyn Meyer. We got to see her
Meyer
a couple
will be
times.
Serving. She had a nice run in that first set
did.
there, Brad.
She did. Kind of kept Ellwood in it. Unfortunately, has gone cold. That one goes back to Neshannock. They take the 5-point lead, now 15-10.
Substitution here as number 16 comes in for the Lancers.
That being Maisie Kolbacki.
And the libero, number 22, will be serving.
And that, once again, is Ava Skodak. Here's a serve by Skodak. Just a little bounce there. Good strike. Unfortunately, Riccio just a little bit behind it there, and that makes it now 16-10 in favor of Neshannock. Skodak with the serve. As we got Ryan Owens in the background doing cartwheels for Neshannock. Oh, gosh, now they started all up. Front row, Wise sets up for Genevieve. Line drive, it falls in the hole in the pocket. That's a point for Ellwood. A big one needed.
So Eden Bungard checks in for the libero, as well as number 14, Murray.
Yeah.
Murray will be serving.
A little bit of a substitution. They're supposed to check in and high-five each other, so Ellwood's just got to be careful about that.
Not with the libero.
Not with the libero, that's
out.
true.
That's
true.
That's what the first one was.
Yeah. So serving is Murray. Jump serve there, good serve. Middle row here for Neshannock, a little bit of a scramble out of bounds, so that's another point for the Wolverines, now 16-12.
Yeah, the first one was the libero substitution.
Yeah. Took a little bit, and then I caught that.
So Ellwood 12 now, serving 16.
So
as Murray gets ready to serve again.
Yep, jump serve by Jilly Murray. It falls right in front of the defender, so that's another ace for Ellwood. And it just seems like every once in a while when Neshannock gets ahead by 5 or 6 points, it kind of seems like they kind of, I don't want to say it this way, but they kind of fall asleep. Front row here, tapped down, back up and over by the Lancers. Wise back over to Bunger. Good strike, but good defense from the Lancers and Farrell. Back row here, scramble out of bounds. That's a point for Neshannock. So 17-13. As the cartwheels continue to progress.
Now serving is number 14 for Neshannock.
That's Maria Falcus once again. Served by Falcus. There's the hierarchy serve there. Gets up and over the front row netting. Back over to the Ellwood side. It's going to be out of bounds, and that's a point for the Wolverines. Wolverines just continue to be right around that 3 to 4 point deficit. So we got a couple subs coming in here.
Number 25.
Again, Riley Reitnauer.
And 17.
And that's Corinne Franis. Franis will take the front row, as it looks like they may have shocked each other. Reitnauer serving.
I don't think they realized it was Ellwood's point.
Yeah, right? Front row scramble. It falls off of the front block line. That's a point for Neshannock, now 18-14.
Now serving for Neshannock will be number 24.
That being Quinn Tatterson, freshman, 5'4". Listed as an outside hitter and defensive specialist. Back row there, up by Murray. Now Reitnauer back to Genevieve. A little bit of a tough play here, up and over the shoulder by Reitnauer. Fortunately for Genevieve, that one goes below the netting.
And
So
Ellwood will take their second and last timeout of the set.
We'll take a timeout with them, folks. Second set action here in the JV matchup here on LSC Sports. Neshannock up by 5. All right, folks, welcome back here. 5-point lead for the Lancers. Serving will be Tatterson. Line drive serve, back row. That's a good play by Murray because that would have been in. Genevieve, far side, cross corner. Lancers set it up here. A little bit of a scramble. Good hit there by Oshbacher. Right now, back row here. Just got to get it up and over his Myler. She does. Lancers front row set up there. Strike down. It falls by number 16, Maisie Kolbacki. That's a point for the Lancers, now 20-14. Kolbacki listed 5'7", but she's definitely got some hops in that front row. Serving again is Tatterson, up 6. High arcing serve. A little bit of a scramble here. Unfortunately, just not knowing where the netting is. That's another point for the Lancers. It's now 21-14. Tell you what, Dakota, the shoe game by the Lancers is on point. There are some crazy color schemes down there. Line drive serve.
Reminding you basketball season.
It does, right? We're on the same court, I guess. Good strike by Ellwood to get it up and over. A little bit of a mishit there from the Lancers. So that'll shut down the run for a little bit here. Now 15-21.
Hamilton checks back in as Genevieve will be serving.
And Ellwood needs a couple points grouped together. Good serve, back row. Skodak puts it up there. Set up for Oshbacher, up and over that front wall. Now the Wolverines' turn. Back row, Genevieve, line drive strike. Good dig and set up here for the Lancers. Far side, it will come back over, still in the field of play.
Great dig by the Wolverines.
I would say back row now, Genevieve. Sets it up for right now. The far side here, just tapped up and over by Bunger.
Was that Murray with the dig again?
I may have been Murray, yep. And that one, unfortunately, hit too close to the netting. And some way, somehow, Ellwood finds a way to get back-to-back points. It's now 21-16. I think you are correct. I think that was Murray who dug that one out. Genevieve, line drive, good serve. Back to the netting, it falls. And that's how you do it, folks. Genevieve's got something going here. It's nothing pretty. It's just literally hit it hard and line drive it right at somebody. 21-17. Lead down to 4. Here's the strike. Another good strike. Did that catch? Nope. Just missed the line. Oh. So subs here.
As number 2 checks back in for the Lancers.
That's Ava Wilson. She
And
will be serving. Yep. 5'8" defensive specialist here. Again, got to play to 25, win by 2. There's the strike by Wilson. A little bit of a spin. It's going to be a scramble. Unfortunately, 4 hits now for Ellwood, so that's a point for Neshannock. That serve was very interesting. She kind of hit it sideways, and it kind of threw off the Wolverine defender, Hamilton. Let's see if she does it again here. Yep, there's that backward serve now, that backward spin. Right now, over to Bunger, up and over. Good scramble, back to the Ellwood side, tap down again. This time it's going to fall.
Wolverines get the point, 18-23.
That's a big one there for Bunger
Keeping the Wolverines in it.
Yep, that front row. Bunger and Hamilton keeping Ellwood within striking distance.
Number 13 checks in for the Wolverines.
That's Eliza Convery, freshman, middle blocker, as Bunger serves. Forward spin, I like that. Almost off the rafter. Up and over by Hoover. Back row, Genevieve for right now. Over to Hamilton, got to get it up and over. She does. Scramble, it falls.
Point, Wolverines now 19-23.
That's a big point there for Peyton Hamilton, one of the seniors on the team here, making things happen. Ellwood now just down by 4.
Bunger with the serve.
Forward spin. Lancer set up the front row here. Hoover, strike, unfortunately, into the netting. And another point for the Wolverines. So finally some good serving here by Ellwood City. They've cut the lead down to just 3. Hamilton, forward serve there, spin-wise.
That was Bunger.
Sorry, Bunger, yep. Set up by Genevieve, right now. Over to Hamilton. Actually, that's going to be Convery that gets it up and over. Scramble here, unfortunately, a mishit by the back row, Wilson. And Ellwood is crawled right back into this, only down by 2.
21 serving 23 now.
Once again, it's Eden Bunger. Line drive serve off of Wilson. It falls. That's an ace. And just like that, Ellwood has gotten this lead down to 1 in the second set, 23-22. Here's serve by Bunger. Good forward spin off of Wilson, and we're going to get a timeout.
Tie game, 23 all. Neshannock takes their first timeout of the match.
All right, folks, we'll come back here for the last couple points. It's 23 all, second set here on Ellwood City Sports. All right, folks, welcome back to the big gym here. 23 apiece, both teams with just one timeout remaining.
No, Ellwood does not have any timeouts.
The official went and put up ones on both sides. So
it was 2 on your left.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, back to the action here. Good strike there from Hamilton as she gets her second point of the set.
Ellwood takes the lead and are at set point.
Wow. What a good play there from Hamilton as she is smiling from ear to ear. She is happy. Just got to get one more point. Back row. Good serve here. Scramble. Wilson. Hoover gets it up and over. Scrambled here by Bunger. Out of bounds. It falls. Oh, Ellwood so close.
So tied up. 24 all now. So we're at least going to 26 in this one, Brad.
Yep, we continue on. You got to win by 2. So now Neshannock has the advantage with the serving. That will be number 7, Farrell. Good serve by Kendall. It falls for an ace. Oh,
set
boy.
And match point opportunity now for Neshannock as they're up 25-24.
How quickly the momentum goes from one team to the next. Again, Kendall Farrell serving for the Lancers, up 1. Line drive serve into the net.
And we're going to at least 27. Tied up, 25 all.
Subs here for Ellwood. Crum will come back in as well as, I believe, Sophia Wise.
And Wise will be serving.
Yep. 25 all. Got to win by 2. Big opportunity here for the Wolverines. Here's the serve. Spiraling to that far side. Field of play for Hoover. Oshbacher gets it up and over. Scrambled by Wise. Unfortunately, out of bounds. So that's going to be a point for Neshannock. That's a tough play because if that one spins back and just drops, it could have been in bounds.
So, set and match point opportunity once again for the Lancers as they're up 26-25.
Serving is Alexis Oshbacher. Good serve. Hamilton over to Crum. Back row here, Genevieva up and over. She does get it there. Set up for Hoover, the strike.
Into the net, 26 all.
Wow. And we continue on. Got to win by 2.
Substitution here as Meyer checks back in for the Wolverines.
And we kind of get to the serving ace machine technically in the first set. She had about 5 serving aces. Good line drive in there. Oh, good scramble. That's going to, yep.
But she gets the ace now, 27-26. Set point for Ellwood.
And if you're an Ellwood fan, this is the person you want serving right now. That's Myers. She was hot in the first set, and it looks like it's carried over. Ellwood by 1. Here's a serve by Brooklyn. It spirals. It's going to go off the net, and that's going to go on the Ellwood side.
The riser and falls. So set goes to Ellwood City, 28-26. We're now 1-1. We'll go to a third set where it's played at 15.
Yep, we played at 15, folks, so stay with us here on Ellwood City Sports. The score now reads 1 apiece. We have a sudden death, 15-point win by 2 set coming up here on Ellwood City Sports. All right, folks, welcome back here. The second set goes in favor of Ellwood, 28-26. That means sudden death. Third set here, go to 15, win by 2. Serving is number 14. That's Maria Falcus. Good first serve here in sudden death. Genevieve, strike. Oh,
It falls in.
I think it was close enough. Yeah, they're going to say just
they
out.
overrode it.
Yep. That one, it was
That one
very
was
close.
in.
Yeah. I think that would have been a questionable call, but either way, it's a point for Neshannock. We play on. Serve once again. Good serve. This one's dying. It falls. And just like that, folks, Neshannock picking up where they left off in the first set.
Even
Quickly
the
up
second
to-
set.
Yeah,
because
that's true. That's true.
both
All three sets.
They came out.
I think it was
leading
what?
at the beginning.
5-0 or 6-0 and then 4-0, and now it's already 2-0 in favor of the Lancers. Serve once again. Good serve. Back row. Meyer gets it up. It's going to be close to the netting. Off of it is Ridenauer. Up and over. Down the line. That one's definitely in by Murray. So that's a point for Ellwood City. Give credit, Dakota. This number 14, Jilly Murray, making things happening. She's listed as a defensive specialist, but her offense has been on point too today.
Now serving for Ellwood, number 25.
That's Riley Ridenauer. Line drive, unfortunately, below the net here. That's quickly a point for Neshannock, and that turns away any run in the early going by Ellwood.
So 3 serving 1 as number 24 for the Lancers will be serving.
That's Quinn Tatterson. Line drive, back row. That's a tough play off of Murray. Just after I talked her up, oh, that's got to hurt. She kind of hit one hand and tipped around and kind of shakes that one off a
I
little
almost wonder if you don't hit it, is it going out?
bit. Right, it was close. 4 serving 1 in favor of Neshannock. Genevieve gets it up here. Now for Franis. Back row here, right now. She does get it up and over. Lancer's turn. Front row. There's a strike. It falls. Number 16, Macy Kolbacki. And Neshannock goes up 5-1.
And timeout, Ellwood City.
All right, folks, so timeout here. We'll stay here as we talk about a couple things coming up. Again, varsity matchup will be right after this. Looks like we're almost at the 7 o'clock mark. It's 6:56. This will probably put us about 7:05, so we're going to assume that it's going to be a 7:30 start time. Again, folks, make sure you come early, come often, come early. Security check as well as a full parking lot when we came this afternoon. There's a lot of events.
It's a little more open now, but
Mhm.
because the middle school basketball game finished.
Yeah,
up,
the middle
but
school basketball was right after school. We'll keep you updated. We'll try to get a score if we can for soccer. They're playing Central Valley. They would have just gotten underway about 20 minutes ago, so they're about 1/4 of the way through their match. We'll keep you updated.
I'll try texting Doug, see if he
There
can
you go. I
give
like
me
that
a
idea.
score. I think Joanne told me he was going to be at the game.
Perfect. All right, back to action here. Serving once again is Tatterson. Up 5-1 are the Lancers. Good, nice scramble play here by Meyer. Up and over. Now Lancers on offense. Set up here to Oshbacher. Unfortunately, hits the netting.
The net. Point
Yep.
Ellwood now 2 serving 5.
That's big for Ellwood City. Hamilton will check back in, number 23.
Genevieve will be serving. If I remember correctly, she had a good run in the second set.
She
Brad.
did, yep. Good line drive strike on that sideline.
Hits the rafters,
Up and
and
around.
they play on.
Yep, Oshbacher, it goes up and over. Scramble for Ellwood. Unfortunately, Bunger hits it downward, and that's going to be a point for Neshannock.
Now 6 serving 2 as number 19 will check in.
That's
And she
Aslan
will
McCown.
be serving.
Yep. So McCown will serve here. Back in on that front row will be Hoover as well. So the big front row, unfortunately, that one doesn't get up and over, so that's a point for Ellwood, now 6-3. Subs once again for now the Wolverines. 13, Eliza Convery. Check in.
And number 30, Eden Bunger with the serve.
There's the serve. Forward spin. I like that forward spin. It causes a little bit of an issue. Hoover does get it up and over. Back to Bunker. Up there by Reitnauer. Far side. Hamilton up and over. Still in the field of play. Replay on. Strike there. Nice dig there by Reitnauer. Far side. Hamilton got scrambled. She does get it over, but unfortunately out of bounds. Point Neshannock.
Now serving will be number 7 for the Lancers as they are up 7-3.
That's Kendall Farrell here. She's had a couple good quality hits here in this third set. Line drive serve. It will fall off of Riccio. That's a point. Now 8-3. Unfortunately for Ellwood, you don't like that when it's one hit and done. Try to get something going here. Strike there into the net. So that'll be a point for Ellwood. That'll kind of stop that quickly. Now 8-4.
So Crum checks back in as well as Wise, and Wise will be serving.
It's a big opportunity here for Wise. Served by Sophia. It falls for an ace. That's a big one, and that's an easy way to get one back. Now 8-5. So again, Wise serving, down 3. Here's a serve. Good serve, back row. A little bit of a scramble. Up there by Tatterson. Up and over by Farrell. Riccio. Front row here, scramble by Wise. Goes off her, but stays on Ellwood's side. So that's a point for Neshannock, 9-5.
Remember, Brad, you only played a 15 in this third set.
Yeah, and it's already 9-5. Neshannock just 6 away. In reality, they can trade points and still win, no problem. Strike there, Genevieve up and over. Hoover comes down. Riccio, battle here. Still
Genevieve
on.
Gets it over.
Yep, we're still playing. Back row scramble here by the Lancers. Up and over by Hoover. Back row now, Riccio sets it up for Wise. Wise, front row for Convery. Up and over. Scramble by the Lancers. Farrell, back over to Ellwood. Off the netting. Still in the field of play. Set up far side, off the wall. It falls.
Unfortunately, with that wall there, you didn't have anyone behind
No.
them.
Yeah, and that was
point Neshannock.
Yeah, that was a good strike by number 9, Alexis Oshbacher.
So timeout, Ellwood City. They'll take their second and final timeout of the set and the match.
Yeah, we'll take a timeout with them, folks. Neshannock doubling up the Wolverines, 10-5. All right, folks, we're back out of the timeout. 10-5 here. Opening serve there out of the timeout. A good serve there once again by number 9, that being Alexis Oshbacher. That's an ace, and just like that, Neshannock goes up 11-5. Unfortunately, the point out of the timeout goes for the team in red. Oshbacher again. This one a little bit shorter. Does get back up and over for the Lancers. Down it goes. Genevieve out of bounds. And Neshannock is now cruising in this third set, up 12-5. As it comes to the front row bleachers here, a couple fans here in a student section starting to kind of mingle for the Wolverines. Line drive serve, Genevieve. Unfortunately, that's going to fall onto the surface. It's now 13-5. All things in favor of Neshannock. So 2 points away
from set.
Yep.
Point opportunity.
Oshbacher, good serve. Hamilton, back row, still in the field of play. Good hit there by Farrell. And Oshbacher and company. Back to Riccio. Front row, Wise, tapped up and over. Oshbacher to Farrell. Now for Hoover. Line drive. Unfortunately off of Riccio. And there's a point for Neshannock.
Sets up set and match point here for the Lancers. 14 serving 5.
Again, serving is Alexis Oshbacher. She's been the main go-to person here in this third set. Getting a lot of points in a row. Riccio, that one's going to go out of bounds.
And just like that, there's the match. 2-1 in favor of the Neshannock Lancers.
Yeah, good scramble and a good bounce-back second set there by the Wolverines. They beat Neshannock 28-26 after Neshannock kind of cruised in the first set 25-19. All three sets start in favor of Neshannock. The first set was 6-0. Second set was 4-0. And in that third and final set, it was like 4-0 again. And serving held together for Neshannock. That was the difference. They win the match here in the JV 2-1. All right, folks, they put 20 minutes up on the board. We're going to assume a 7:30 start time here, a normal time for the varsity matchup. So we'll check back in right before we start. We'll have the national anthem, the starting lineups, and we'll have Thad join us here on Ellwood City Sports. So stay with us, folks. Varsity matchup next here on Ellwood. The following is an Ellwood City Sports production.
Two to the right. Quick pass out there to Dom Ho. He gets up to the 50-yard line. He's got blockers down. He goes, makes a man miss. He's got the first down. Does a little wiggle all the way. He's still on his feet. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Hand off to Partridge. Tucks it in the left hand. He's up the left side, and he's going to go all the way. At the 10, the 5, touchdown! 4th and 15. It's all down to this. Back to pass. Give and chase. Throws it out there, and he's hit. He's short of the line again. He's short of the line again.
With the free kick. Nice header by Keystone Oaks. But taken there by Huth.
Shot on net.
And
It's a goal!
Puts it up, and down it goes. That's the game! Playoff win for the Wolverines. Inbound to Caleb serving. Yes! It's gone! Shoots it. It's over! The boy is over! The Wolverines win!
Side field, chasing his left fielder. It's going to go all the way out of the ballpark. A home run. Contact there, deep, sending back the center fielder up to the fence line. A base hit there for Luke Raleigh. She will turn and go to third on the triple. Hi there, Ellwood City sports fans, alongside Neshannock Lancer fans. Welcome into Ellwood City Big Gym here in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania, as we bring you live coverage, WPI girls volleyball. It's the MAC section Tuesday night action. It's Ellwood City Wolverines taking on the Neshannock Lancers. Brad Windhorst alongside Dakota Marshall. It's the last night of September as we try to bring in October. That means that the sports season, the fall sports season here in the 2025 school year is beyond halfway. As boys golf, girls golf has wrapped things up. Girls tennis is done. That just leaves girls volleyball, football, soccer, and cross country. Again, folks, welcome into the Big Gym. The floor is ready to go. as we are setting up. We had a great matchup in the JV matchup beforehand. It was Neshannock in the first set, 25-19. Ellwood City bounced back to make it 28-26 in the second set, and the third and final sudden death set went to Neshannock, 15-5. They win the JV matchup 2-1. Again, folks, Ellwood City Sports, you can check out all the action, including tonight's matchup, including our next couple broadcasts tomorrow, middle school football, Thursday back in volleyball, and then Friday, the big one, the homecoming matchup against Western Beaver on our website, www.ecwolverines.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole works, including today's boys golf scores for Jordan Keller and Jackson Rosansky. We'll talk about that during one of the timeouts. A big day here for Ellwood City Sports. And most importantly, check us out on YouTube. Type in Ellwood City Wolverines. Subscribe and turn on the notifications because it will be notified every time we go live. Standings are on your screen at the moment. The Neshannock Lancers, they're a couple games, in fact, maybe indirectly, just 2 matches away from clinching a playoff matchup later on the season, but they're sitting at the top at 7-2, 6-1 in section play. Then you've got Riverside sitting there at 4-1, followed by, throughout the rest, Mohawk 4-2, Shenango 2-1, Laurel, Ellwood, and Beaver Falls finishing out the rest of the section matchup. Again, 2A Section 4 MAC Conference. They take the top 4 teams, so if you're the Wolverines, you definitely have to battle back to get into the action. Now we have the national anthem, and then we'll have our starting lineups. All right, folks, there's our national anthem as we get the head commentator. That is Mr. Gary Rosansky at the scores table. As we get things ready to go here, again, Neshannock will be wearing the white away jerseys with the red pinstripe and a red shoulder. Ellwood in their home classics with the white and blue pinstripe and numbers. All right, starting us off will be the Neshannock Lancers. Number 1, the freshman Marika Measle. Number 8, the sophomore Olivia Hoover.
22.
Number 22, the sophomore Ava Skodak.
Number 9.
Number 9, that's the junior Alexis Oshbacher.
Number 3.
Number 3, junior Emmeline Pesarelli.
15.
Number 15, that is the junior Caitlin Pauline.
6.
Number 6, that's the senior Ryan Owens. The head coach for the Lancers, Isabel Clandenial, and the assistant coach is Brandy Owens. So they're starting a lineup for the 6-1 in section play Lancers. And now your Ellwood City Wolverines. Starting us off, the freshman specialist, number 21, Gianna Genevieva. Number 1, the sophomore outside hitter and serve specialist, Jaden Allwine. Number 2, the sophomore middle blocker, Kara Kreitzer. Number 10, the sophomore middle blocker, Denham Elchison. Number 12, the sophomore center, Gracie Krug. Number 7, the sophomore middle blocker, Taylin Crum. Number 5, sophomore defense specialist, Maria Riccio. And number 3, the libero, junior libero, Nina Fernitti. Number 4, senior outside hitter, Emma Shafley. And number 20, senior outside hitter, Ava Lucarelli. And finally, number 22, the senior right side specialist Natalie Jones. The head coach is Saley Grinnan, and the assistant coach is Autumn Wheeler with the volunteer Brianna Bunger. Once again, the Wolverines sitting here at 2-8, 1-6 in section play. Again, folks, we do appreciate you tuning in for this varsity matchup, a big section matchup. If you're the Wolverine fans, you got to get this one or something soon, as the book on playoffs is starting to kind of collapse on you. On the flip side, if you're the Lancers, continue to do the business. Make sure you get this one in the books. You are the favorite team tonight, and you can be sitting there once again in first place at 7-1 if they would win. Ellwood City will start on the left side, the Lancers on the right side. So officials will go through the lineups, check everybody across the board. All right, folks, once again, it's the best of 5 sets. So the first team to win 3 sets will win the overall match. Play to 25, got to win by 2. So we get the starting lineups here. Setting in and subbing in will be number 22. That's Skodak, the libero here for the Lancers. As we are just checking a couple things here.
They were just identifying captains.
Yep, checking the captains here officially for both teams. Libero for Ellwood City, well, that'll be number 3, wearing the blue jersey. That's Nina Fernitti. So both liberos out on the court here, as Ellwood will be the first team to serve tonight, and that will be the sophomore specialist outside hitter. That's Jaden Allwine. Here's the serve by Allwine, and we're underway from the big gym here in Ellwood City, Pennsylvania. Line drive shot there by the Lancers off of Lucarelli and company. The first point will go to the Lancers. Good contact there by number 15. That's Caitlin Pauline for the Lancers. They go ahead up 1-0, and she will be serving. Neshannock having a big week last week, splitting with Mohawk. They came back to beat the Warriors. They were down 2-0, won the match 3-2. To split the series, and that's why technically they're sitting in the driver's seat in first place. There's a serve by Pauline. Front row, Allwine sets it back to Shafley. She gets it up and over. Pauline sets it up. Front row, there's the hit, and it's down. Is it out of bounds? As right off the bat, just the second point we're judging here. I think we're going to say it's out of bounds. So good strike there by number 3, Emmeline Passarelli, but they're going to say out of bounds. That will split the points now, 1-1. Serving for the Wolverines, that'll be number 20. That's Ava Lucarelli. Line drive, good serve, and ace.
And the first ace of the varsity matchup goes to Ava Lucarelli.
Yeah, and that's a big one there. Dakota kind of caught the Lancers kind of napping. She's got that forward spin, which just drops quick over the net. Serve once again by Lucarelli. Here we go. This time on the outside edge of Skodak. Front row, Owen sets it up here. Line drive. Good scramble and dig by Lucarelli. Now Shafley off the netting. Back to the Lancers side of things. Owen sets it up here for Measle. Back over to the Wolverines. Allwine, far side. Shafley off the wall. Good scramble here. A little bit of contact. Got to get it over.
And they hit the rafter, excuse me. And Wolverines increase their lead 3, serving 1.
So if you hit the rafters, folks, it has to get over by you, not the rafter on your side. So in that case, that's a point against Neshannock, now 3-1. Lucarelli, line drive, good serve. Front row Owens, back and forth here. Up and over the wall, a little bit of a scramble. Lucarelli gets it over. Owens again. Measle back over to Owens, gonna be scramble. It will fall. She'll find the pocket hole. It's kind of like a scramble and just hope and pray. It falls for number 6, Ryan Owens, the lone senior for the Lancers.
Now serving is number 3 for the Lancers.
That will be Passarelli. Good serve there. Line drive. Allwine up there for Kreitzer. Down it goes off the rafters. Scramble here for the Lancers. They do get it up and over. Lucarelli back row to Allwine. Up there off the wall. Genevieve back to the Wolverines. Kreitzer this time. Up and over. It falls. Big points here on the early going for Kreitzer and company. They go and double up the Lancers 4-2. Fernetti checks out as number 10. Denham Elchison will check in for the Wolverines. Good serve again. It falls. Why not? Service ace for Ellwood. It's now 5-2.
Kara Kreitzer now serving for the Wolverines.
Kara, the sophomore middle blocker, but she's used to volleyball. Good bloodline there in the Kreitzer family, following her sister. That one will fall down. It's a good shot there, I believe, by number 1, Marika Miesel. And that will give a point for the Lancers, now 5-3.
Substitution here as number 16 will check in for the Lancers.
That being Macy Kobaki.
And number 6 will be serving.
And that is Ryan Owens. Jump serve here, line drive. Good serve off of the
Great
libero.
Dig by Fernetti.
Yep, good strike. That one goes down. It's good by Miesel. And just like that, it's now 5-4. Miesel, just a freshman here for Neshannock, but she's been a name that we've been talking about throughout the season that is a very good right-handed hitter here in that front row for the Lancers. Here's a serve by Owens. Deep, got to play it. Luke Riley does get it up. Fernetti over to Shafley. Strike there off the wall. Good scramble by Miesel and company. She gets it up, and it's put down there by Elchison. She turns around like, did I just do that? Yes, she did. Ellwood will take the 6-4 lead now. So far in the early going, Ellwood looking pretty good.
Number 22 will check in.
That's Natalie Jones,
as well as number 12.
Number 12, Gracie Krug, and she will be serving. Gracie is sophomore here. This is her forte, and that is serving. Here's the serve by Krug. A little bit of a hopscotch serve. It goes out of bounds, and quickly Ellwood goes up now 7-4.
And an ace for Krug.
And Dakota, that's been the difference in the JV matchup. Neshannock served well. Right now in the varsity, it's all Ellwood. 7-4. A little bit of a pop serve there. Owens up there, far side. Good dig there by Fernetti and company. Unfortunately, Elchison shortchanges that one. That's going to go back to the Lancers, now 7-5.
Now serving will be number 1.
And surprisingly, that's maybe the first time in a long time. No subs coming in. Serving is Miesel. Jump, serve there. A little bit of a spiral to the right. Set up for Ellwood. Kind of got away with the carry there, I believe. Set up by Luke Relly. Krug, scramble by Shafley. Unfortunately, too far, and that's a point for the Lancers as they look to get back into this one, now down just 1. Here's the serve by Miesel. Line drive, good serve. Set up by Fernetti. Front row, up by Krug. Shafley, back row, too far. And just like that, we got 2 touchdowns up on the board. It's 7 apiece. Yes, I crossed over to football.
That's not till Friday.
Not till Friday, but a big one, folks. It's homecoming for Ellwood this week. Served by Miesel. Set up by Fernetti. Krug up there for Elchison. Off the corner here. I think number 1.
Tipped off to the libero, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was actually off of Miesel. I'm wondering if she was going to try and stop and not get contact. Unfortunately, she does get hit. So that's a point Ellwood.
Number 4, Shafley now with the serve for the Wolverines.
Line drive serve, good serve. Back row, Skodak. Close to the rafters. Up there, up and over that front row. She stays away from the net. It was real close. Up and over. Unfortunately, Luke Relly shortchanges that one. It goes back to Neshannock, 8 apiece.
Now serving will be number 8.
We got to see number 8, Olivia Hoover, in the JV matchup. Listed as 5'10". Definitely the length of the Lancers. A little bit of a scramble, up and over by Luke Relly. Now the Lancers' turn. Far side there, Owens up and over the wall. Krug gets it up. Shafley up there for Fernetti. She gets it up and over. Turn for Lancers, denied. Oh no, we're going to get a net violation. Oh no, it's going to be a net violation against Ellwood, so the point's going to go to Neshannock. That was a great front row block, but I think they're going to call a net violation there on number 10, Elchison, so Lancers still with the lead 9-8. A little bit of a scramble here. Up by Luke Relli, off the front wall, set up now for the Lancers. Middle row, Hoover unfortunately hits it straight down. That's going to be a point for Ellwood as it goes below the net as we split now 9-9.
Now serving will be the libero, number 3, Nina Fernitti.
Kreitzer checks back in, and I believe number 16 will check in as well. That's Kolbacki. Good dig there by the Lancers. Almost falls, a little bit of scramble. Kolbacki got caught watching there, unfortunately. That's going to be a point Ellwood as they take the lead back, now 10-9. So far, serving's been the name of the game. Give credit to Ellwood. Line drive for Nitty. Just that little hopscotch serve. Off the front wall, comes back to the Lancers. Back row, up and over. Now the Wolverines' turn. Unfortunately, a little bit of a scramble. Wolverines kind of got caught watching. That'll split it now 10-10.
Now serving for the Lancers will be number 16.
That's Macy Kolbacki here. Sophomore, 5'7". Good serve. Set up by Lucarelli. Krug, far side. There, struck down by Kreitzer. It falls off the wall, and that's a point as we continue to trade points back and forth. Now 11-10 Ellwood.
Substitution here as number 9, checks in for the Lancers.
That's Alexis Oshbacher.
21 for the Wolverines.
Genevieva.
And number 1, Allwine.
Yep, and she will be serving. Again, Ellwood has a bunch of sophomores on this class in this team. We're looking at right around 7 sophomores, and all of them will see action tonight. Good serve there. Unfortunately, just out of bounds.
Smartly read there by number 1 as she stopped from touching it.
Yeah, the first time she wasn't able to. This time she was. Point Lancers.
Now serving will be number 15 for the Lancers.
That's Caitlin Pauline, junior here for Neshannock. And unfortunately, the serve goes into the netting. If there is one thing that we could say is a push or an even in this match, both these teams are fairly young. Ryan Owens, the only senior for Neshannock, so a very young Neshannock team, albeit 6-1 in section play. Good serve and an ace there by Luke Rowley. She takes advantage. Ellwood back up by 2 now, 13-11. Again, Tuesday night action here in the MAC. So far, Ellwood has the advantage by 2. Line drive serve, unfortunately, just spun on her hand. That will be an error and a point for Neshannock.
Now serving will be number 3 for the Lancers.
That's Emmeline Passarelli, junior, 5'9". Good line drive serve there off of Fernitti. Scramble here by Shafley. Up and over by Lucarelli. Back to the Lancers side of things. Owens up there, punched up and over. Scramble by Allwine. Lucarelli sets it up and over by Genevieva. Now the Lancers' turn. Front row, Hoover, line drive. Unfortunately, a little high for Fernitti. That's going to be point Lancers as we now are in that back and forth action. Just points left and right, 13 all. Jump serve here once again by Pauline. It falls for an ace. Good contact by Passarelli. My apologies. That's now 14-13 as Neshannock gets back in front by 1. Again, a little bit of a jump serve there. Unfortunately, this one's short change. It's going to go back to Ellwood, 14 apiece. This is the trend so far, folks. Ellwood had the early advantage up a couple points, but since then it's been split, and we continue to go back and forth. Now the serving errors starting to come out for both teams. Now 15-14 Neshannock.
Number 16 checks in now for Neshannock, and number 6 will be serving.
It's Kolbacki, and then Ryan Owens, again, the one and only senior on this Neshannock team, a very young team, not what we're used to. Deep serve. Good serve there by Owens. Far side for Shafley. Cross court. Nice dig there and set up here for the Lancers. Hoover, it goes down. Nice dig by Lucarelli. Back over to the Lancers side. Owens setting up front row. This time it was number 1, Measle. It comes right back to her. One more time off the wall. This time it falls. Good contact by number 16, Macy Kolbacki, as the Lancers take their first 2-point lead, multi-point lead in this match. 16 serving 14. Here's a serve. All the way to the middle of the arena here, and it falls down by number 8, Olivia Hoover, and just like that, back-to-back points.
And timeout, Ellwood City.
Yep, we'll take a timeout with them, folks. It's in the early going here, first set. Lancers pull ahead, 17-14. All right, folks, welcome back to the Ellwood City Big Gym here. A little journey down 376 for Neshannock to come into Ellwood territory. They're up by 3 right now in the first set. Good strike there by number 4, Emma Shafley. It goes down. That's a big point not only for her, but the team. That kind of ends that run. And again, Dakota, timeouts just seems like it's almost like a point shaver.
So now checking in, number 22 and 12, 12 being Krug. She will be serving.
So Krug and Jones come in. Ellwood down by 2 here. That was actually, in fact, the first time tonight they were down by 3 points or more. Fortunately, kind of bounced around here, scramble, and unfortunately for number 15, Caitlin Pauline.
Kind of hit awkward off of her.
Yeah, and that kind of
caused a mishit by everyone.
Yeah, and that brings the score back here, 17-16. Ellwood only down by 1 now.
Krug with the serve.
Good serve. Back row Skodak and the libero. Set up here. Strike there. Off the netting. It stays off. And Ellwood stays out of the net. That's a point for the Wolverines. We're tied up 17 apiece. I think that's kind of their go-to guy, or in this term, girl, number 1. That's Marika Measle. She's over there with Owens. That's the duo right now. Measle does get it up. Owens keeps it alive. It does go up and over there by Pauline.
Ellwood faithful saying they need to talk. We said it at pregame.
We did, and communication is important, and unfortunately that point there.
Net violation on the Wolverines as number 10, I'm assuming, goes in again?
Yep. So it'll be Measle now serving up 1. There's a good serve. Set up by Lucarelli. Up and over there by Krug, but unfortunately she hit the net. That's going to be a net violation. In fact, they're going to call it double hit.
Double hit on the Wolverines. So Neshannock Lancers up 19-17.
Yeah, as we get close to that 20-point mark here, and that's very important for both teams. Jump serve by Measle. Back row Frenity. Up there for Krug. Shafley's going to punch it up and over. Skodak back row. Owens back over to Measle again. Cross-court action here from the Lancers. Owens this time for Hoover. I think she's going to hit the net. So
net violation on Ellwood again.
Wow.
Eltrison.
So another point for Neshannock. They're up by 3 again. So after all that fight back by Ellwood, it's back to a 3-point lead. Measle. And good serve. Comes back to the Lancer side of things.
Great dig by Lucarelli.
Yep. Back there, it's going to be a tough play. It stays inside of the inbounds markers. Unfortunately, Elchison misses that one. It's going to be another point in the first time tonight, folks, and it's a good time for the Lancers. They go up by 4.
And Ellwood will take their second and last timeout of this first set.
All right, we'll take a timeout here, folks. Lancers by 4 in the first set. right, folks, welcome back here. 21 serving 17. The Lancers with the lead and the serve here, so this is a big time for both teams. As Neshannock looks to go up in the early going in the first set here. At the wall, punch down, scramble. It's going to fall off the Wolverines side. That's a point for Neshannock, and that was a good play by number 8, Olivia Hoover. She just reached over, popped it down, and gets the point. Now up by 5.
Here's the serve by Measle.
Good serve, line drive. Off Krug, up by Shafley, now over by Frenetti. Stays underneath the rafters. Skodak, back the Measle, line drive. Good contact by Measle. Far side there by Jones. Unfortunately, shortchanges it, and it's a point. Neshannock, and just like that, it's 23-17.
One away from set point for
Neshannock here. Yep. Measle, good serve, back row. Frenetti sent backwards. Luke Rowley gets it up. Cruz's going to have to get it up and over. She does. Front row section here for Lancers. Off the wall, it falls. That's a big point there by Jones and Elchison. Get the block, and that stops the bleeding here. We'll see if it's a little too late. 18 serving to 23.
Number 4, Emma Shafley with the serve.
Good line drive serve. Set up here for the Lancers, off the wall, but they're going to say it touched out on the outside edge, so out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Point Wolverines now 19-23.
Need a couple more of those by Shafley. Deep serve, it's out of bounds, and that's unfortunately not what you want.
So set point opportunity number 1 for the Lancers, as number 8 will be serving.
That's Olivia Hoover. Sophomore, 5'10", tallest girl on the team. Line drive serve, good serve. Shafley up there for Lucarelli. Back over to Frenetti. She'll get it up and over. Good opportunity here for the Lancers offense. There's a strike. It falls back. Good block by Elchison. That's a big point. Ellwood now at the 20-point mark. Got to string a couple together because next point could win it for the Lancers.
Now serving will be the libero, number 3, Nina Frenetti.
Checking back in is Kreitzer, not front row. Frenetti, good serve. Set up here for the Lancers. Owens, far side. There's a strike. Shafley does get it up. Far side, Krug. Oh, the Jones off the net. It's back, and that is a point for the Lancers.
So set number 1 goes to the Lancers, 25-20.
So good opportunity here for Ellwood. It looked like in the early going, they actually had a lead for most of the single-digit points. The moment they hit 10 on, Neshannock got ahead by 2 or 3, and they carried all that momentum. They win by 5, folks. First set to Neshannock. We'll take a timeout here on OSC Sports. We'll bring you second set action here in WPIL High School Girls Volleyball action. All right, folks, welcome back here to Ellwood City Big Gym. As the first set goes to Neshannock Lancers, the varsity level, 25-20. They'll take the 1-0 lead. It's a best of 5, so they'll have to win at least 2 more sets if you're the Wolverines. You showed some fight back there in the early going. The serving was perfect for Ellwood. Kind of faltered midway through, and then the Lancers just took over. Measle, Owens, that front row made it happen, and they won by 5. First serve of the second set for the Lancers. Goes back over their side. There's a strike by Measle. Good scramble here, but it's out of bounds. And we said it, folks, if there is an early MVP of this match, it's very clear. It is number 1, Marika Measle. She has been on fire. A freshman, nonetheless, for Lancers.
Number 15 with the serve for the Lancers.
Good serve by Pauline. Off the rafter there. Frenetti's going to have to scramble. It falls quickly. 2-0 lead in the early going. Neshannock. Serving once again. That is Pauline. 2-0. Good strike. It's deep. It's out of bounds. As one of the fan members said, nope, real loud, and it worked. That makes the score now 2-1. Ellwood's first point.
Now serving for the Wolverines, number 1, Jaden Allwine.
Here's that serve. A little bit of a hop to it. Back row, out of bounds off of number 9. That's a point for Ellwood. That ties the ball game here, 2-2. We said it, folks. If Ellwood's going to win tonight, it's got to be via the service line. And so far, they were good early on. Let's see if that continues. And unfortunately, the Brad Jinx is alive.
Works again,
yep.
As Lancers get the point. Now serving will be number 3 for the Lancers.
That's Emmeline Passarelli. Last time up, she had a pretty good run of points. Set up there by Frenetti. Allwine, far side to Genevieve. There's a strike, good strike. Still in the field of play. Scrambled by Owens. Up and over once again there by Passarelli. Up there for Lucarelli. Line drive, but way out of bounds. That's a point for Neshannock as they double up Ellwood 4-2. Serving once again for Neshannock. That's Passarelli, junior, 5'9". Good serve there, almost dropped in off Lucarelli. Tapped around, Hoover back to Kreitzer, back over to the Lancer side. Frenetti sets it up here for Allwine. Far side, Genevieve on the strike. Unfortunately misjudged the jump. And in the early going second set, it's 5-2 Neshannock.
And timeout by the Wolverines. Their first of this second set.
Hey, folks, while we have this time, we're going to talk a little bit about Ellwood City sports throughout the week. Yesterday, a lot of sports were actually off. Not many things going on. It was all practice and not a single match officially in the books. That was the first time in over 35 straight days Ellwood Sports has had an event in some way or some fashion. And that was shortly lived because today, a lot of teams were in action. Boys golf was down at Valley Brook Country Club in McMurray, PA, and coming in with a score of plus 15 and I think plus 16 on the day. That was Jordan Keller and Jackson Rosansky. Both individuals had a really good 2 rounds. Unfortunately, just missing out. Keller finished 26th, have to be in the top 18, and Rosansky finished 32nd. They were about 3 to 4 shots back from qualifying for state. So either way, big shout out. They're going to be back in action on Friday. They got the Tri-County Championship for boys golf, and then next Monday, team playoffs for Whippeals. Here's a jump serve. It goes off the netting. It falls for an ace. Woo! And that was a close one there by the server, Passarelli. Gets a little bit of instructions from the bench there. Again, Coach Glenn Daniel and Owens. Allwine sets it up here. Tapped up. Still alive for the Wolverines. Frenetti up and over. Unfortunately, too hard off the rafter.
The rafter.
Yep.
Point Neshannock as they're up 7-2 now.
Yep, and all things so far going in favor of the Lancers in the second set. Up 5. Good serve. Shafley sets it up front row. Allwine back here to Lucarelli. It does get up and over. I think we're going to say a carry. Yes, it is. And that's going to be a point Ellwood. So they stopped bleeding a little bit as they get back in the point column, 7-3.
Now Ava Lucarelli with the serve, number 20.
Primarily in that back row is Lucarelli. Here's the serve. Line drive. Good serve. Up there for Owens. Quickly there by Hoover. Frenetti with a dig off the netting. Unfortunately, kind of a tough play there for Allwine. It goes quickly right back to the Lancers, now 8-3.
Now serving will be number 6 for the Lancers.
That's Ryan Owens as number 16 checks back in. That's Macy Kolbacki. Jump serve here from Owens. Line drive to Shafley. Allwine sets up front row. Kreitzer strike there. Ooh, just missed by a foot or two, but still another point for the Lancers. Things are starting to get out of hand here for the Wolverines defense. 9 serving 3. Line drive. Shafley once again. She's going to be targeted the most there on the serve. Back over to Lancer's side. Far side. Strike there. It's going to be out of bounds. Good call there by Frenetti and company. Ellwood will get a point now, 9-4.
Ball goes out of the gym.
Yep. I think Elchison checked back in here.
And number 2, Kara Kreitzer, will be serving this time for the Wolverines.
Got to get a good service run by the Wolverines. Could start with Kreitzer. Good serve there. Front row. Tapped around. Goes off of Owens. And that's a point for Ellwood. And that's the senior-led team there by Owens. You kind of see it. She went from the back row. Not a single person moved up there. She made the play, but unfortunately to no avail. Skodak, good dig there. Off the serve. Line drive. Hit there by number 15, Pauline, right into the net. So back-to-back points here. Ellwood only down by 3.
Kara Kreitzer once again with the serve.
Good serve. Skodak again. Up and over the wall. Allwine up there. Set up by Lucarelli. Back to Allwine. Punched up and over. Back row. Owens. Scramble here by Pauline. Back to Owens. Strike there into the net. And just like that, Dakota, 3 points in a row for the Wolverines. Slowly getting back into the second set. Kreitzer once again, good serve. This time off the Measle. Up front row, Hoover up and over the wall. Set up there for Shafley. Strike there off the wall. It falls. 4 points in a row, and all of a sudden, Ellwood City fans get a little something to cheer about.
So 8 serving 9 as Kara Kreitzer continues the serving duties for the Wolverines.
Here's a strike, line drive, back row, Skodak up there for Owens. Now for Measle, there's a strike off the wall. Scramble by Ellwood, unfortunately doesn't make it over. And that is shut down by Measle. Just like that, it's now 10-8.
And she will be the one serving.
Neshannock back up by 2 here, second set action. Serve there, Shafley. Off there to Allwine. A little bit of scramble. Ava Lucarelli does get it up and over. Close side here, Pauline. Good strike there by number 15, Caitlin Pauline, off of the back row. Point, Neshannock. Every time Ellwood has kind of crawled back into it, Neshannock has had an answer. And I know it's a broken record, folks, but it's usually number 1, Measle.
Here's the serve by Measle.
Good serve off to Shafley. That's like 7 in a row to Shafley off the serve. Good strike there by Algerson. A little bit of a scramble play. I don't know how in the world you stay off the net there, but good play by the Lancers. Up and over. Owens, scramble. Skodak. It's going to be up and over by Measle. Lucarelli sets up Allwine. Close side here. Algerson, unfortunately, short change. Again, another
also
point.
hit down by number 8 at the net.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was just a light hit there. And Hoover just knocks it straight down, now 12-8. Here's the serve. Bending out of bounds, and that's probably the first mistake by Measle tonight.
Substitution here as number 22, Jones, comes back in.
And
And number 12, Krug, who will be serving.
Krug has had success. We've seen that last week. In the serving game against Riverside, she went on a run of about 6 or 7 points. We need that once again. Good serve. There's that forward spin. That's a tough one, folks. Hoover, good stop there by Elchison all the way back to the back row. It falls. It's 10-12. That is big. The fact that you block it, but more importantly, that almost went, what, 15, 16 feet behind the back row. Wow.
Here's second serve by Krug.
Bending this side. Set up there by Pauline. Owens up there for Hoover. Tapped over. Frenetti with the dig. Middle row here. Elchison back to the Lancers offense. Up by Measle. Owens, strike there. Down the line. It's inbounds. And unfortunately for Frenetti, she was kind of hoping for a little bit of help, maybe from the bench. No call there. And it falls in the line. Now 13-10.
Hoover, number 8, now with the serve for the Lancers as they're up 13-10.
Line drive, Frenetti. Set up here for Elchison. Up and over by Lucarelli. Now for the Lancers' turn. Far side, Measle takes control off the wall. It falls, point for Neshannock, 14-10. And it's just the lack of communication for Ellwood, unfortunately, on defense. It's showing through in this game. And there's another one, another communication error. And just like that, it's 15-10. And if you're head coach Saley Grinnan and you're sitting here knowing you're within 5 points, it's not all bad. Serving has done well, but unfortunately, whenever Neshannock has the ball, it's not good for Ellwood. Shafley there, good strike. A little bit of a scramble, back row. Frenetti sets it up here to Krug. Elchison up and over that wall, scrambled by Owens. Now Measle, back to Owens. There's a strike, unfortunately, into the net. And Ellwood lives to fight another day. They get the point, 15-11.
Now serving for the Wolverines will be number 4, Emma Shafley.
We're just waiting for somebody to go on a big run here for Ellwood. Let's see if it starts with Shafley. Far side there, strike. I think it's going to go on the outside edge of the post. Yep, so out of bounds. That's a point, Ellwood, now 15-12. That's unfortunate there for Pauline with being right-handed. Good strike. Set up here. There's Pauline. Up around. Wolverines get away with it. A little bit of a nervous wreck there. That one goes out of bounds. So point for Ellwood. My apologies, folks. Last point there, that was number 16, unfortunately, Macy Kolbacki on that far side with the right-hand hit. Pauline's on the close side towards us. Shafley.
Shafley.
Oh.
Straight to Ava Lucarelli. That'll be an error and point for
Darn
the
it.
Lancers. Now 16, serving 13.
She had something going there. Unfortunately, the service error stops that.
Now serving will be number 16.
That being Kolbacki. Lucarelli sets it up here. Krug back to Elchison. Back row, Measle sets up for Owens. Front row, off the wall, it falls. Good contact and hit there by number 3, Emmeline Passarelli. It falls. Lancers back up by 4. If you're Neshannock, you don't mind trading points as long as you keep going forward. Ellwood, you gotta find a way to break through. Good serve. Far side, Krug off to Lucarelli, off the wall. It does get enough. It falls, 17-14. Elchison will check out. Back in his Kreitzer. On the flip side, sub there, that'll be number 9, Alexis Oshbacher checking in for the Lancers.
Now serving for the Wolverines, the libero, number 3, Nina Frenetti.
That sidewise extra step there for the serve. Set up there, down the row. It's good by number 15, Caitlin Pauline. I think they're going to say net violation.
Net violation on Ellwood.
Yep.
Point
Either way.
Neshannock.
Yep. Either way, point Neshannock.
So number 15 with the serve now for the Lancers.
Good serve by Pauline. Unfortunately, oh boy, did somebody touch it?
That was tipped.
Yes, it was touched. I like that serve there because it could have died and fallen in. You got to make the play. And again, Ellwood's got to get this going.
Once again, down by 5 is the Wolverines.
And that's been the book so far this year for the Wolverines. right there, but just 5 points back. Shafley, front row, Krug. Off there, good contact by Kreitzer. Now set up for the Lancers. Close to the net, up and over. Krug keeps it alive. Jones up and over, but
that is
on
out
the
of bounds.
outside edge, so that's a point in Neshannock as they hit 20. Serving once again, number 16, and that's Maisie Kolbacki.
That was 15 with the serve.
Okay, my apologies. 15 serving. Close side here is Measle into the net. It's only been 1 or 2 times where she's made a mistake. You can kind of live with that when it's
keeps
still
the Wolverines alive.
Yeah,
as
20
number
to 15.
21 Genevieve checks in, along with number 1 Jaden Allwine, and Jaden will be serving.
So big segment of this match here. Middle point of second set. Here's a serve by Allwine. Jump serve, good serve. Back to the net area, up and over the wall. Skodak puts it up there for Measle, up and over. Lucarelli taps it over to Allwine. Back to Lucarelli, good strike, hard strike. Lancers do get it back over. Frenity this time. Allwine off to Lucarelli. Unfortunately, short change. Just kind of caught jumping there. That's a point in Neshannock. They're up now by 6.
Now serving will be number 3 for the Lancers.
That being, once again, Passarelli. 5'9", second tallest player on the team. Definitely can see it when she jumps. Good strike there. It falls off Lucarelli. Good contact by number 8, Olivia Hoover, the tallest player on the team. And
Lancers starting to pull away now. 7 points.
Serve up by 7. Good serve. Almost falls. Up and over by Kreitzer. Scramble here by Oshbacher. Back over to the far side. Measle, it falls. Good strike by Measle. Splitting the defenders. Now 23-15.
So next point gives the Lancers set point opportunity.
Jump serve again. Line drive off the net. Up by Shafley. Allwine. Over to Lucarelli. Strike off the wall. It falls. That's a big point there, and makes me wonder if that's the better side for Lucarelli right now. Being right-handed, she came over to the close side and strike that one pretty hard.
So number 20, Ava Lucarelli, will be serving 16-23.
Line drive serve, back row, kind of caught Oshbacher scrambling. Hoover hits it, but it's short change. Again, another point for Ellwood. Closing the gap just a little bit, down by 6. Here's a serve, line drive to Oshbacher. Hoover gets it up. Measle up and over, it falls right back where it came from. In fact, that was Measle, yep, and that's a point for Neshannock.
So set point opportunity now for the Lancers. They are up 24-17. And number 6 will be serving.
Again, the one senior on the team, that's Ryan Owens. Jump serve, spinning forward, it falls. That was definitely in.
And that is set point number 2 in favor of the Lancers, 25-17. Yeah. Lancers lead this match 2-0.
Yeah, if you're Ellwood, you don't even matter if it's out of bounds. When it's like that, you don't care. You're down by 8 or so points. You definitely hit that. That's an unforced error by Ellwood. So, folks, we'll take a time out here. 2-0 after a 25-17 victory by the Neshannock. We'll come back for the third set. It's crunch time for the Wolverines, down 2-0. All right, folks, welcome back to the Ellwood City Big Gym here. 2-0 in favor of Neshannock, 25-20, 25-17. They're up 2-0. This is the most important set here for Ellwood. They're all important, but this is do or die here, folks.
This is the way to stay in the game.
Yeah, Neshannock, if they would win this set, they go home with the victory and are just one match away from clinching playoffs.
Served by number 1, Jaden Allwine.
Comes back to the Ellwood side. Allwine there off to Luke Raleigh. Strike off the wall. Good scramble here by Neshannock. Owens up there for Measle. Short-changed that one. Doesn't happen very often, but Ellwood goes up 1-0. That's the way to start for the Wolverines. Sometimes it's just nice to not even have to play defense. You get the point from the unforced error. Up 1-0.
Here's the serve by Allwine.
Good serve, and just like
ace.
that. Yep, that's what Ellwood needs more of. Serving played a factor in the first set, kept Ellwood in it, and it's kind of gone stagnant. Give credit to Allwine, though, back-to-back points. Good serve, back row off of Hoover. It's going to be a tough scramble here. They do get it up and over. Nice contact by Measle. And unfortunately for Ellwood, nobody within 8 to 10 feet of that front row. Wow.
So to start the serving for the Lancers will be number 15.
That being Caitlin Pauline. Jump serve, good serve, back row for Nitty. Sets it up here for Allwine. Tapped up and over by Kreitzer, but unfortunately, I think we're going to get a net violation. Oh, they're going to call it on Neshannock's.
So that's going to be on number
15. Yeah. Okay. That was on Pauline, so 3-1 lead for Ellwood.
Now serving will be number 20, Ava Lucarelli.
Line drive serve, good serve. Falling forward, back to Ellwood here. Struck over. Wow, what a play by number 2, Kara Kreitzer. She kind of smiles looking like, oh goodness, I just did that, and it worked. Fell in the pocket. Sometimes do the unconventional. It works. It's up 4-1 now for Ellwood. Good serve once again by Lucarelli. Owens up there. That one struck off the wall. And I think that's the first time tonight that we see Owens strike something right at the wall. It's a good strike. It falls. It's now 4-2.
Now serving for the Lancers will be number 3.
That is Emmeline Passarelli. Last time out, she finished off the second set. Good serve. Up there by Allwine. Lucarelli strike there. Almost falls in the middle. Owens up there. Measle. Good dig by Lucarelli. Far side. Shafley struck and a little too hard there, and that's a point for the Lancers. Down by 1. Three serving 4. Here's the serve. Good serve. Set up by Shafley. Now to Allwine. Kreitzer back row. Up there by Pauline. Passarelli. Back over to Ellwood's side. Tough play there, but Kreitzer does get it up and over. Owens, front row. Hoover off of Lucarelli. It falls. That's a point. Neshannock, and they tie this up quickly, 4-4.
I'm surprised if Lucarelli actually touched that. I mean, I know she went for it, but I don't know that I saw her touch.
Yeah, it was close enough. I think the ball did spin, and that evens it up now, 4-piece. And just like that, maybe that's a little bit of karma or nature saying have it back. It's now 5-4.
And now serving will be number 2, Kara Kreitzer, as Denon Elchison checks in.
Let's see if Kreitzer can go on a run here. Line drive serve, back row, back to Ellwood. There's a chance off the wall, but good scramble by Owens, keeping it alive on her back. Back over to the Wolverine side. Allwine up by Lucarelli. Now for Shafley. Up off the netting, and that's going to be 4 touches there. 4 hits and a point for Neshannock.
Checking in now is number 7 for the Lancers, and number 6 will be serving.
Owens serving here for for Neshannock. We're going to switch some up teams here on me. Fernetti checked in, the libero for Ellwood. Owens, back row, right there it is for Nitty. Allwine sets up here for Shafley. There's a strike. It goes down, but a good dig by number 15. Off the wall, it falls on Neshannock's side, and that's a point for Ellwood.
Wolverines take the lead once again, 6-5, as number 22 Jones checks in along with number 12, Krug, who will be serving.
So 6-5 now. Served by Krug. Falling forward. Set up that front row. Punched up and over. Up there by Krug. A little bit of a scramble. It does fall over. Shafley does hit it off the netting. Back to Shafley. Strike there off the post. Falls on Ellwood's side, so that's a point for Neshannock. It's now tied 6-6.
Now serving will be Measle, number 1.
So Measle once again serving here for the Lancers. Jump serve, line drive, almost falls up by Lucarelli. Krug back there to Fernity, up and over. Gonna be a little bit of a scramble here by the Wolverines. They do get away with it. Back row. Owens now up by Jones. Krug, a little bit scramble again. Oh my goodness, how in the world did Shafley get that up and over? Hoover off the front wall. Probably the best rally we've seen by both teams. Off the front wall, scrambled, it's down. Elchison stays off the netting, and that's a point for the Wolverines, who take the lead 7-6.
Now serving will be number 4, Emma Shafley.
If there is one thing that has kind of gone Ellwood's way, when there's a scramble in a rally of 20-some hits, it has gone Ellwood's favor. Just unfortunately not enough of it. Back over to Ellwood's side. Fernity up there for Lucarelli. Off the wall, it falls, and it seems like there's a little bit more life out of this team for Ellwood in this third set. 8-6. Shafley once again serving for the Wolverines. Line drive serve, good serve. It catches.
And an ace.
Yeah, catches the palm of Passarelli, goes straight down. That's an ace for Ellwood, 9-6 now. Line drive again. That one's going to be another ace. And a bunch of points here for Ellwood. They were down in the early gun. I think this is 6 straight points, if I'm correct. I think it was 4-4, 6-4 Neshannock, and now it's 10-6. So 6 straight points for the Wolverines. And the jinx is alive.
I'm going to start duct taping.
I'm literally going to have to not say a single comment. We're just talking about a 6-point run. It's looking great, looking good for Ellwood, and unfortunately unforced error.
Number 8 now with the serve for the Lancers.
Serve there by Hoover. Back up there by Lucarelli. Fernity up and over. Front row for Lancer. Strike there. I like the hit. See if there is any touch. They're going to say no touch.
Tipped.
Give credit, though. I think that was a good strike there by number 3, Emmeline Passarelli. Just, I think it didn't hit anybody.
Now the libero, number 3, Nina Fernity with the serve.
She'll do that sidestep. Good serve. Back to Ellwood's side. Up by Lucarelli. Back row for Nitty. Just got to get it over. Lucarelli does. Measle sets up here. Good contact. Lucarelli up by Elchison right at the net. It falls down. Good contact by number 3, Passarelli. And that shuts down the rally there. Now makes it 11-8.
Checking in now is number 24 for the Lancers, and she will be serving.
First time that we see Quinn Tatterson in the varsity matchup. Got to see her a lot, and she served a lot in the JV one. Good serve. Back row. A little bit of a split here. Punched up, and that's not going to go over. That's a point for Neshannock, and that's just a product of the first initial setup. The dig there was not very good by that back row, unfortunately, for Ellwood. Served by Tatterson. That one goes out of bounds, so that point will go quickly back to Ellwood. And did not notice it, but Maria Riccio actually has checked in for the Ellwood on that back row, number 5. Checking in now is Allwine and Genevieve. We'll see if Allwine's serving can get into some pace here and see if we can get Genevieve going on that front row. She's kind of been quiet in this match tonight. Good serve from Allwine. Set up here for the Lancers. Good dig there by Riccio. Scrambled to Fernity. Lucarelli, line drive, unfortunately into the net. It's going to go back to Neshannock, 12-10.
Now serving for the Lancers, number 15.
15 being Caitlin Pauline. Good serve, back row for Nitti. Sets it up here. All line off to Lucarelli again in the netting. Just unfortunately not going the right way for Ellwood and Lucarelli. Now 12-11. Serve once again by Pauline. Set up there, all line. Far side, Genevieve up and over the wall. It's going to be scrambled. Looks like both girls are okay. Number 24, Tatterson, and number 3 kind of ran into each other, Passarelli, but both are okay. Point will go to Ellwood. They're back up by 2.
Substitution here as number 4, Emma Shafley, will come in for the Wolverines.
Yep.
And number 20, Ava Lucarelli, will be serving.
Okay. So Shafley back in for number 5, Riccio. Serve from Lucarelli. Line drive, good serve. Hoover sets it up here. Tatterson. Front row, a little bit of a scramble. Get away with the net. Ellwood's turn here. Genevieve, good strike there. Back row, Hoover. Owens up here for Measle, up and over the wall. Good scramble and dig there by Lucarelli. Far side, Shafley just punches up and over. Reset for the Lancers. Hoover, line drive, it falls. What a shot by Hoover. That one falls inbounds. Nice play there by Olivia Hoover.
Now serving for the Lancers will be number 3.
That is once again Passarelli. Jump serve, line drive, falling forward. Shafley makes the play here. Scramble by Ellwood. Lucarelli does get it up and over, and it actually catches Hoover off guard. And that's a point Ellwood, now up by 2 again, 14-12.
Number 2, Kara Kreitzer, now with the serve as number 10, Denham Elkerson, checks back in.
There's a serve from Kreitzer. Line drive, good serve, almost falls. Owens up here for Measle. Dig there by Lucarelli, up by Allwine. Elkerson in on the action. Maybe the best hit of the night for Ellwood. Good strike by number 10, Denham Elkerson. Point Ellwood, and all of a sudden, the first time in a long time, Ellwood up by 3 points.
So Kreitzer with the serve once again.
Line drive, good serve, and it gets the crowd going. Got to get the student section. Not the biggest crowd tonight, being a Tuesday and a bunch of events, but those who are here.
And the Lancers will take a timeout.
They get to see the timeout here. We'll take a timeout with them here on Ellwood City Sports. Ellwood up by 4 in the third set. All right, folks, welcome back here. A big timeout there for the Lancers. They're down first time in a long time by 4 to Ellwood. Hard serve there by Kreitzer. Set up here for Measle. Back row there, and Lucarelli sets it up. Allwine, far side to Shafley. Strike there. Good play, but up through the rafters. Oh, my goodness.
They get it over.
Wow.
And falls on the Ellwood side. Point Lancers.
What a play there by number 6, Ryan Owens. Just magically gets enough of a contact hit over, and it falls, and she will be serving.
Number 7 also checks in for the Lancers.
That's Kendall Farrell. First time we've seen her tonight in the varsity matchup. Again, Kendall Farrell. Good serve by Owens. Off to Shafley. Allwine back to Shafley here. Got a scramble. Does stay inbounds. Now for Hoover, up and over the wall. Up by Genevieve. Lucarelli back to the front row. Pushed up and over by Shafley. Far side, Measle, strike there off the wall, out of bounds. A big block there by number 10, Denham Elkerson, as the team starts to erupt. They're up by 4.
And Jake Biskup, one of our homecoming king court, ends up with the ball.
Yeah. Again, good student section. They're starting to get a little bit more vocal. We like it. Got to get back into this as now Krug will be serving for Ellwood.
Here's the serve.
Good serve by Krug. Back row here. Owens up there. It's going to be a scramble play here for Ellwood. Off of Luke Raleigh, out of bounds. That's a tough play, and it goes right back to Neshannock. Again, that has been the theme of the night. Every single time Ellwood goes on a run, Neshannock has the answer.
Now serving for the Lancers, number 1, Measle.
Here's the serve from Measle. Falls in for Shafley. It's going to be right at the net. That's going to be punched right down. Big play by Hoover. Just 2 bad hits here in a row by Ellwood. Puts them right back, 17-15. Measle once again. There's a good serve for Nitty. Front row here, set up for Elchison off the wall. Recover. Elchison again. Set up there by Owens. Far side there. Farrell out of bounds. That's a big point for Ellwood, as that will shut down the serving by Measle. So point Ellwood, now 18-15, and that's a big one. Shafley now will serve. Line drive serve. Good serve from Shafley.
By Shafley.
Yep.
Makes it 19-15 now in this third set.
That's big for Emma Shafley. Again, one of the seniors. Just a couple out there. There are officially 4 seniors for Ellwood. Line drive. Good serve again. Up to the rafters. It stays off of it, though. Back there off the netting by number 15, Caitlin Pauline. Point Ellwood, and they are all up by 5.
We're at that 20-point mark now, Brad.
Yep. Crunch time for both teams. Pauline sets it up. Far side. Measle up and over. Luke Raleigh sits up there for Krug. Back to Luke Raleigh. Strike off the wall. It falls.
It's
Scramble.
Still
it's still alive. Punch down by Elgison. We are still going, folks. Off the Pauline. There's a big strike out of bounds. What plays by the Neshannock defense. Ryan Owens, and then number 15 finishes off Caitlin Pauline. That'll make the score 20-16.
Wow. Now serving will be number 8 for the Lancers.
Riccio comes in for defensive purposes here for Ellwood. Here's a serve by Hoover. Line drive out of bounds. That's a big service there. It goes back to Ellwood, who only needs 4 more points.
So now serving for the Wolverines will be the libero, number 3, Nina Fernitti.
She goes and hits the ball a couple times. There's that side serve step. Front row Owens keeps it alive here. Farrell up and over. It falls off of Krug. Right back to Neshannock, down by 4.
Number 24 will check in and serve.
And that will be Quinn Tatterson. This is tough pressure here for Tatterson. She played in that entire JV matchup. Second time serving at the varsity level. Fernitti sets it up here. Krug, far side there. Luke Raleigh down the line, finds the pocket hole. It falls. Point, Ellwood City. Couple subs here for Ellwood.
Jaden Allwine will come in along with Genevieve.
Yeah.
And Allwine will be serving.
And this is a big time here, folks. Ellwood just 3 points away. You don't necessarily want to trade points here because every time Neshannock has crawled back in, they've gone on a run. Good serve. It falls.
An ace.
Big ace there for Allwine. Now just 2 points away. Here's the serve from Allwine. Line drive strike. Back row there. Tatterson up there to Owens. Measle, good strike, good dig here. Set up here, back for Ava. Luke Raleigh up and over the wall. Good punch there by Owens. Up and over. Back row for Nitty. Middle area to Allwine. Luke Raleigh up and over the wall a second time. Good block and save here. But scramble goes out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Point Wolverines as they are now at set point opportunity, 24-17.
And needless to say, these last couple points, the last 10 points, it's all been in favor of Ellwood. They needed this, folks, down 2-0. Allwine, line drive, good serve. Tatterson up there for Owens. Back row, Measle It's out of bounds, and that's a big point and momentum.
And there's the set. Wolverines win 25-17, making it now 2-1 in favor of the Neshannock Lancers.
Yeah, that worked out perfectly where it just so happened that the service errors by Neshannock quickly shut it all down. Not one, not two, but 3 service errors in the late going by Neshannock gives Ellwood City some freebie points. They win 25-17. Folks, we'll take a timeout. We'll bring you forth set action here in Ellwood City Sports. You're watching WPIL Girls Volleyball here on Ellwood City Sports. All right, folks, welcome back here to the Ellwood City Big Gym. 4th set action underway here. Serving will be Neshannock to start us off. Good play and good scramble by Ellwood to get it back to the Lancer side. Strike there off of Genevieve. It falls on the Lancer side. That's a point for Ellwood. They're up early going here, 4-set, 1-0. We do have a final update, and this is a big one for Neshannock fans. Final from Laurel, I believe it is. Mohawk 3-1 over Laurel. So Mohawk improves the 5-2, keeping good pace with the Lancers.
Jaden Oline with the serve.
Strike there. It goes down quickly by Measle, and that was what we were missing, folks, in that 3rd set. Again, a broken record here on Ellwood City Sports, but more importantly, Measle, she's got to get back in the action. That was quick. Just the 2nd point. She wins at 1 apiece now.
Now serving is number 3 for the Lancers.
That being Passarelli. Good jump serve, line drive off the net. It falls for an ace. Sometimes it's about being lucky. Hit that front net line there, just falls in. And it's now 2-1 in favor of Neshannock. Passarelli with the serve. Line drive this time, unfortunately, shortchanged it. So point back to Ellwood, now 2 apiece.
Now serving for the Wolverines, number 20, Ava Lucarelli.
Here's the line drive serve. Back row Skodak off through the rafters. Still scramble mode. Goes out of bounds off of number 15, Pauline. Ellwood gets back in the lead, 3-2. And again, I like what the crowd is saying. Follow the momentum, folks. It's got to carry over. And so far, it looks pretty good in the early going for Ellwood, up 3-2.
Lucarelli with the serve.
Good serve there off the side. Owens up there for Measle. It's off the wall. It will fall, though. Splits it now 3 apiece.
Number 16 checks in for the Lancers.
That being Macy Kobayaki.
And number 6, the senior Owens with the serve now.
I got to look at the number of points that Measle has scored tonight. It's got to be a good percentage of Neshannock's. Vernetti sets it up there for Allwine. Far side, Shafley, line drive strike off of Skodak. There's a good strike. It falls for Measle again. Basically, it's now Ellwood 3, Measle 3. Neshannock has 4. If you're not taking notice, fans, Measle, freshman, 5'9", outside hitter. Definitely the MVP for Neshannock tonight so far. Allwine up there for Kreitzer. Back corner. Oh, it would have been good if it was a little bit to the left, but it was out of bounds. That's a point for Neshannock. Tell you what, Dakota, that was a good location. Just got to bend it a little bit inward.
Here's
Owens
the serve
serving.
by number 6.
Yep. Senior Owens, line drive. Vernetti up here to Allwine. Off to Kreitzer. This time, again, just a little bit far. Thought maybe there was a touch. I think they're going to say no touch there, and it's a point. Neshannock 6-3. Owens up and over. Lucarelli far side to no man's land. Unfortunately, was Allwine. That's back points, I think, for
And
Neshannock.
timeout, Ellwood City.
And that's going to be a big one there, folks. We'll take a timeout with them. It's 7-3 in favor of Neshannock, 4th set. All right, folks, welcome back here to EC Big Gym. 3rd set went 25-17 to Ellwood, and since then it's been all Neshannock, now up 7-3 in the 4th set. Looking to close out, just 18 points away doing so. Jump serve there by Owens. Up there for Allwine. Contact there safely off the wall, bounce around. Measle sets up for Owens, up and over. Back row, Lucarelli. Now up for Allwine, back over the shoulder, punched over by Genevieve. Measle up there, far side, up and over. Now it's going to be offense, although they're going to say into the net. Wow, no, wait, wait, what? I missed that one, folks.
A Shafley net violation.
Okay, so it was a net violation. It just looked weird.
That's the only thing I can go with because we weren't anywhere close to 4 hits.
Right, and I'm wondering if that's what caught me off guard was seeing the number 4, so that was Shafley that unfortunately hit the net. Okay.
So
anyways.
Number 2, Kara Kreitzer, 4-8.
Moving on. And that one quickly goes awry. And service there. It goes back to Neshannock, now 9-4.
Now serving will be number 1, Measle.
Measle with the serve, back row. That I had in. And they're going to say it was just out. It was a tough call here, folks. And unfortunately, we'll leave that conversation for another day. Maybe we'll leave that for Thursday.
Substitution as Jones comes in and Krug. Krug will be serving.
Ellwood down here, 5, serving 9. They got to get a run going here. They did this last set. They were down, I think it was 9-5, and then they scored a couple points in a row. Good serve. Up there, Owens back row is going to set Measle on their back foot. It doesn't matter, folks. It falls. That's a point for Neshannock, now 10-5.
Now serving will be number 8.
Dan Hoover, line drive. Vernetti sets it up here for Krug, actually. Vernetti up and over, back row. Good hit there. Measle sets it up. Play here for Pauline, up and over. Wolverines turn. Up there for Elchison. Unfortunately, shortchanges it below the net. That's a point for Neshannock. It's now 11-5. Serving once again is Hoover. Line drive serve. Back row. Too far. That one did not bend nor break. So that's a point for Ellwood. And that is a dire, needed situational point. 11-6.
Now serving number 4, Emma Shafley.
Got to get on a run here. Line drive, back row. Measles sets up for Owens. Quickly there, but out of bounds by number 3, Passarelli. Point Ellwood.
So Shafley now 7, serving 11.
Line drive. Measle up again. Owens, front row. This time Pauline up and over. Krug up. Fernitti back a little bit by Lucarelli. She does get it up and over. Owens sets it up there for Passarelli. Up by Ellwood off the netting. And
that's going to
fortunately
be 4
hits. Yep. And it's a point for Neshannock, now 12-7.
Number 5, Riccio comes back in for the Wolverines.
Again, offense for defense there.
And now serving for the Lancers, number 16.
Riccio plays libero for Ellwood in the JV, so we can technically have a back row of liberos there. Strike there by Lucarelli. Unfortunately, shortchanged it back to Neshannock. Lucarelli was also a libero back in the day, I think her freshman or sophomore year as well. So a bunch of liberos out there, back row for Ellwood. Line drive serve for Nitty. Set up there for Krug. Front row up for Alchison, up and over, up by Owens. Measle set for Pauline. Cross court, it falls. Point for Neshannock, and this one is quickly getting out of hand in this fourth set as Lancers double up Ellwood, 14-7. Serve, good serve. Maybe could have been out of bounds. Up there for Jones. She gets it up and over. Owens, far side, strike there off the wall. It falls either way. It's in. Point Neshannock, now 15-7.
And Wolverines will take their second and last timeout of this set.
Yeah, we'll take our timeout here as well, folks, here on Ellwood City Sports. Neshannock up by 8. All right, folks, welcome back here. Second timeout and last timeout. Sorry, yeah, second timeout for Ellwood there. Leaves them with just 1.
0.
0. Just
They only have 2.
I'm looking at the wrong thing again. Serve there by Neshannock goes out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Lancers. So, yes, you are correct. That is the last time that Ellwood can kind of stop a run here. They got to play it out, but Neshannock continues to go forward, now up by 9. Again, got to give credit to the serving here by Kolbacki. And unfortunately there, it goes right back. The jinx is happening more than not this night. Point for Ellwood on the long serve.
Number 9 checks in
Yep.
for the Lancers. And number 3, the libero, Nina Fernitti, will be serving.
So that's Oshbacher back in for Neshannock. It'll come right to Oshbacher. Owens keeps it in. Measle up and over. Fernitti sets it up here for the Wolverines. Krug. Far side, middle area. Kreitzer, good strike, but good defensive dig there by Skodak. Up and over. Back row, Riccio. Now Krug sets up. Ava Lucarelli, strike there into the net. Unfortunately, that'll be a point for Neshannock, 17-8. Got a little shoe tying going on here for the Wolverines. Run. There's a serve for Neshannock. Up by Krug. Up and over by Lucarelli. Now for the Lancers offense. Far side. And a little miscommunication there. Owens a little too far. Goes out of bounds. And that is a point for Ellwood. Couple subs here for the Wolverines. That'll be
So
number 1, Allwine.
And Allwine check back in.
Yeah. This is about that rotation where we finished in set 3, where Ellwood was able to close it out. Allwine, line drive serve, good serve. Skodak gets it up here for Owens. Far side there, line drive, good dig by Allwine. Far side for knee, up and over. Skodak, back row. Owens, far side, Measle this time. This time the communication is there, and they don't even show a smirk or response. Both of them just on point. They knew exactly what that play was going to be like.
Now serving number 3.
Passarelli, jump serve, back row, Fernetti. Up there for Allwine. She'll just go up and over, but unfortunately she'll be caught with a carry or double touch. Double hit there, point Neshannock. So all things Neshannock here, up 10. This 4th set, looking to close it out here, just 6 points away. Here's the serve, line drive serve, back row, Fernetti. Up there, it's going to be a scramble, and it falls. Another point for Neshannock as they hit 20 now. Ellwood just sitting there in single digits, just with 9. Here's a serve from Passarelli. Back row serve, Fernetti. Sets it up here to Kreitzer. A little bit of a scramble. Up and over by Riccio. Back row. Owens. Measle. Line drive. It goes down off Fernetti. It's a point. It's now 21-9.
So Passarelli once again with the serve.
There's a serve. Fortunately, just missed that one in the jump. That goes back to Ellwood. That's a point they needed because everything so far has been Neshannock.
Emma Shafley checks back in as number 20, Ava Lucarelli, will be serving for the Wolverines.
Here's a serve by Ava. Good serve. Middle area here. Strike off the wall by Measle. It falls. That's a point Neshannock. They quickly shut down the serving. Now 22-10.
Number 16 checks back in.
That is Kolbacki.
And number 6, Owens.
Yeah, looking to close this out. Just 3 points away from the match. There's a serve. High arcing serve. Falling forward. Fernetti, Allwine. Off to Kreitzer. Off the wall. It falls. A little bit of a pushback there by Ellwood. It's now cut in half. 22-11. Checking back in for that front wall is Elchison, taking out Fernetti here.
And number 2, Kara Kreitzer, will be serving.
Here's that serve. 1 point at a time, as they say. Good serve. Skodak almost misses the rafters. There off the wall, it falls for Measle. And folks, I mean, it is a no-brainer, no doubter. The MVP of tonight's game, if this one falls for Neshannock, it's going to be number 1, Rinka Measle.
And she will be serving.
Jump serve, line drive. Allwine up there. Elson off that front wall and net.
And
it
we are at
falls.
set and match point opportunity now as Lancers are up 24-11.
Here we go, folks. Measle serving. Looking to close things out for the Lancers. Line drive, back row, Fernetti sets it up here for Allwine. A little bit of a scramble. Lucarelli just up and over that wall. Off to the far side, good scramble, up and over, still in the field of play. Allwine now sets it up for the far side. Shafley up and over the front wall. Owens over to the middle. Measle back over to a punch there from number 16, Kolbacki. Allwine up for Genevieve. Good scramble and rally here between both teams. Good dig by Allwine. Far side, Shafley, she keeps it in the field of play. Off for Owens. Far side, strike off of Fernetti, off through the rafters. Up by Allwine.
Touch.
Yep, gets it over is Lucarelli. Now Neshannock's turn, up there by Allwine. Good scramble, up and over, back, and it falls in the empty space. Point, Neshannock.
A great rally at the end there, but Neshannock takes the set and match 25-11.
Yep. So the final 25-11 in set 4. Set 3 was 25-17 Ellwood, 25-17 Neshannock, and the first set 25-20 in favor of Neshannock. Neshannock will win this match 3-1. They will keep pace with Mohawk, who defeats Laurel 3-1. Mohawk will improve to 5-2. Laurel will take their second loss in the same section play. Ellwood, unfortunately, will fall to 1-7, and their hopes of playoffs is starting to fall away. Just a couple games left in the schedule. Folks, that wraps up Ellwood City Sports action tonight. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 6 o'clock at Riverside High School for the middle school football game. It's the rival middle school football game, 6 o'clock, Ellwood City Sports at Riverside High School. Wednesday as well, Dakota, you'll be on the road there to the Lawrence County Marching Band Festival.
Yes, that is a 7 o'clock start. Lawrence County Sportsnet usually has great coverage of that.
They will have that. The doors open at 6. Marching begins at 7 up at Taggart Stadium in Newcastle. Fairly cheap to get in, and more importantly, it's a very, very nice event. Good music, and obviously, I think it's like $5.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you are correct. We'll be back on the air Thursday night, back here for volleyball against Mohawk, and then Friday night, homecoming, early matchup there. Kickoff slated for 7. Pregame and pregame festivities will start right around 6:30 on Ellwood City Sports. On behalf of Ellwood City Sports, Brad Windhorst alongside Dakota Marshall. Final score here once again for girls volleyball: Neshannock 3, Ellwood 1. Good night, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Riverside High School.